Hiya.
Hey, hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good,
How are you
good.
too?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning to you and welcome to Breakfast Daily. Beautiful morning here. And we're excited that you should be spending some time with us this morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily. My name is David Kwekusechi.
And my name is Chris Carter. Know that you are also part of the show and you can join in at any time. If you're wondering how can I join in at any time, all you need to do is send your messages via the WhatsApp number on the screen, and then we can get to read it on the screen. And if you're watching us live right now on YouTube or on Facebook, you can actually leave your comment right in the comment section and we will also get to read it. Don't forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily if you want to share any opinion on Facebook or Twitter, formerly X.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to be getting into a lot of different conversations on the show today. Later on in the show, we're discussing the cholera outbreak, and of course we'll be joined by Dr. Kelvin Owusu and another doctor as well to help us to understand exactly what is going on and how to, position ourselves in such a way that we don't fall victim to this. And the entertainment highlights will also be coming your way. And we also have the Breed Girls Old Students Association will be joining us on the show. So all of these are going to be happening on the show. You don't want to miss out on that. Of course, there's going to be some good music from Mr. Lito.
Yeah.
Mr. Lito. Yes, he'll be joining us on the show later on after the news review segment when I sit with my guests as well. And all of that's happening on the show today. We'll begin with some words of inspiration.
Right, and a word of inspiration today is actually from Goy Nasu, and it says, an entire sea of water can sink a ship unless it gets inside, can't sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship. Similarly, the negativity of the world can put you down unless you allow it to get inside you.
Yeah.
An entire sea of water can sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship.
Yep.
And similarly, the negativity of the world can put you down unless you allow it to get inside you.
That's a brilliant quote. That's a brilliant quote. It speaks to the fact that we control what we allow to affect us.
Yeah.
We control that, And as for the happenings, you can't stop the happenings, but you can control how you're affected by the happenings, and that's very important, right? So everything that's happening around you, like somebody also said, as for the birds of the air, you can't stop them from flying over your head,
right?
But you can stop them from landing. Right, and so it's important that what Goy Nasu is saying is that an entire sea, the ships, they're always on it, and they're not sinking. But guess what? As soon as a crack opens, and water starts to get into the ship, that ship is doomed.
Right.
If they can't seal the crack on time, that ship is doomed.
Right. And if we put it together when it comes to our, let's say, our mental state.
Yep.
Anything that you allow to enter you is what you absorb, and what you absorb also affects how you think. So if you let negativity enter you and you accept all the negativity, you begin to absorb it and you begin to think like that. So it's either putting you down or you become a negative person. You either don't do what you are supposed to do, you are sad, you're sulking every day, or you become a negative person that will be also spreading negativity. Yeah. And now let's look at it with our physical health. Whatever that you actually allow to, whatever that is negative that you absorb will affect your body.
Yeah, it will.
Yes.
It will.
So when it comes to our health, if you let any negative thing that is not supposed to be, in your body enter your body, it will affect you one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's watch what we allow, what we permit to come into us. Now you see, the eyes, the ears are the doorway to our minds. If you prevent what goes through your eyes, control that. What comes through your ears, control that. You protect yourself. This quote is just brilliant. I love it. All right, a few reminders for you. Don't forget that we have the constituency, and that's tonight. So it's Tuesday, right? So the constituency comes on tonight at 7 p.m. And so you don't want to miss out on the constituency with somewhat a calm as it brings fantastic conversations from real people in constituencies right next to you. So, you know, what I love about the constituency is that it's just regular people.
Yeah.
You know, children, school-going, you know, teenagers, young adults. Everybody's fair game. People in the marketplace, people at the trotro station, people at the roadside. Doesn't matter. That's the constituency. It's about the real people in constituencies that's near you, or maybe your very own constituency as well. 7 p.m. with Samalacom. You don't want to miss that.
All right, and on Thursday we have the Channel World Community Forum where Philip Nilate will be around the world communities speaking to each and everyone there about, you know, the upcoming election, and we also get to hear what people really think about what's going on as we gear up through to the election. So it's every Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, don't forget that the ballot box, and so those on radio too are not left out. The ballot box comes your way as well. It's on at 10 p.m. each night from Monday through till Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, 10 p.m. each night, it's on. Now, we also have something interesting. So the Situation Room, right, Chris, the Situation Room plays back on radio Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 3 to 4. So Traffic Avenue takes a breather, you know, from 3 to 4, and the Situation Room Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well. So these are some things that you can also benefit and be part of it.
And we have face-to-face. So face-to-face shows today at 9 p.m. And if you missed it today, you can actually watch it tomorrow at 2 p.m. And it's with Omar Sanda Amadou.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then we also have the Point of View. Now, the Point of View, of course, it's Mondays and Wednesdays. So if you missed it last night, well, there will be playbacks, and then you can also enjoy another episode of the Point of View on Wednesday as well, 9 p.m. When Bernard gets the right guests, sits with them and has conversations, important conversations to elicit the answers we need. And finally, just a quick reminder for you that this weekend at the National Theatre, we have a Pure Cause, The Matrix Verse Experience 24. This one is themed Roots and Blossoms. So all roads lead to the National Theatre on Saturday, 16th of November at 6:30 p.m. We go live, all right? And Pure Cause will be with Kwampa as well. And so it's going to be a fantastic experience of music, of poetry, and all of that. And myself, yours truly, I'll also be, you know, showcasing some small skills there as well. So you don't want to miss out on that, yeah? All right, so fantastic. It's time for us to get into the dailies. And the newspapers have, you know, got some interesting headlines today. But to help me to go through the papers today is Nana Tufo Boate.
Hi, David.
Nana, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Great
all
stuff.
right, yeah. I'm
Good
gearing
stuff,
up for the day ahead,
All right. The day looks packed. Pretty interesting day.
Supreme is sitting.
Yes. Hopefully we get the judgment on the vacant seat saga.
Yeah.
And then also there's a scheduled Inter-Party Advisory Committee IPAC meeting between the EC and the political parties. And so, yes, you'd want to stay with us here on Channel 1 TV. We'll bring you all the 411 as it progresses. But stay with us. There's live coverage from the Supreme Court. Once the judges sit, the court is called into session, into order. We'll go live and we'll bring you all the proceedings from the court. Yeah.
All right. You want to start?
Yes, let's start off with a daily graphic this morning. Standoff in Parliament, solution rests with a speaker. Apenyo Markin asserts, comes with a picture of Alexander Apenyo Markin, the majority leader, on the front page of the daily graphic. Now, 4 MPs, a vacant seat controversy. Supreme Court delivers judgment today. Vote for competence above other considerations. NCCE boss to electorate. That's on the front page of the daily graphic. Yeah.
All right. The front page of the Daily Guide, we have local government minister commissions to Echiman and Kuranza markets. We also have 4 MP seats for MPs seats saga. Bagbin swerves Supreme Court judgment today. Okay. Now, sitting on minority side will be bad omen. And this is coming from Afenyo Markin. I'm not sure why he says bad omen.
Have you said that you remain there?
That's what he suggested. Yeah, but he sat there before.
Yeah,
so
well, once upon a time. But that time is past.
Okay, so now it's only on the right side of the forever and ever. Politicians say, Rebecca campaigns for Baumia.
Yeah.
And end dollar-based crude oil pricing. Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid is speaking there. So that's it for the front page of the Daily Guide.
All right, I'll take you to the Anchor newspaper. GMA, that's the Ghana Medical Association, alarmed over rising alcohol abuse, drug and sexual misconduct among doctors.
Wow. Okay. This one deserves a more detailed read.
The doctors are enjoying life.
Hey, same world.
They work so hard. They need to cool off after work.
But not with sexual misconduct.
GMA alarmed over rising alcohol abuse, drug and sexual misconduct among doctors.
I mean, if you want to enjoy yourself, you stay with the alcohol and drug and do whatever you want with it, because you know how it's affecting you. But sexual misconduct, Charlie.
Well, I'm sure when you get the Anchor newspaper, you get the details.
We'll read some of the details later, because I'm interested
all right,
in that one.
Bagbin's lawyer missing in court as Supreme Court delivers judgment today. You know, yesterday, Speaker Bagbin was not represented in court.
Okay.
And he did not also file a statement of case. And so we do not know what his position is as of yet. The previous sitting, prior to yesterday's sitting, remember that his counsel then, that's Thaddeus, mentioned that, well, the objection raised by the Attorney General was that his representation of the Speaker, there was some shenanigans around it, and even had a problem with the Speaker being attached to the seat and all that, because in his own understanding and interpretation, he represents the state, and this is a matter of interpretation of the Constitution, and so he should be able to face this matter, and him only, and so had problems with the Speaker being attached to the suit. Well, Mr. Sorry mentioned in that particular sitting that he is just a lawyer, and so he will seek advice from his client. Fast forward, yesterday there was a sitting, no show by Mr. Sorry, no statement of case filed by the Speaker. Remember that prior to that, the Speaker's application to have the Supreme Court turn back their own initial ruling had been shut down and dismissed. And so we don't know if the Speaker is still interested in this matter.
Well, the Speaker did say that he will meet the Attorney General
and tell him his peace of mind.
And that if I have a matter and the Attorney General, is he the one who is going to, he has an issue against me?
He says he knows him. He did national service at Parliament. So he knows him.
Wow.
Yeah, but the Speaker made some, interesting points also that the Speaker is independent of the office of the Speaker. It is not one entity. So yes, it should be interesting in court today. We'll wait to see what will happen. Free dialysis for kidney patients from December 1, Baumia announces, and revolution hits Black Stars team. Semenyo, Inaki, and 6 others withdraw from AFCON qualifiers.
Yeah, we've heard that fella. It was out on social media last night.
Yesterday they trained and it was only 8 players. Out of the 8, I think 4 are local-based players.
They say some more players are coming, but there's a whole squad that have decided that
it is well.
Anyway, the Chronicle. Bagbin runs away from Afenyo. Question is asking. Fails to make appearance at Supreme Court yesterday. We have Kojopo and Nkrumah advocates dedicated funds to finance affordable housing projects. Alan storms North and Ahafo gains Yana's blessings. And we have COSA commissions modern markets in Tichiman and in Nkuranza, and it has photographed the Martin J. Mensah COSA with some other dignitaries. Secondly, court vacates its order against NDC PC. And the scripture for today on the front page of the Chronicle, it says, Colossians chapter 2, verse 15. He disarmed the rulers and authorities and put them to shame by triumphing over them in him. Chronicle, chairman of pay.
All right, the New Independent says, vote for my husband. Alan's wife charges and says he will be a better president. Okay. Alan Cash gains northern momentum as Alhaji Sadiq Boniface rallies Savannah region for change. Secondly, High Court clears NDC's Joanna Kujo to contest a Memphis Central seat. GUM chides media over perceived blackout for its activities. I'll ensure free SHS is well funded. It has come to stay. This is according to John Dramani Mahama.
Wait, so GUM, no? What have been their activities?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because when you say perceived blackout, it presupposes that they've been doing things and media haven't been covering. But I have not seen them anywhere.
Have they been sending invitations to the media houses to come cover their activities?
Well, we haven't,
all others
we haven't
doing?
received any here. Have we received anything?
But
here?
over the weekend, we actually did cover their press conference
Their
here
press
in
conference.
Accra.
So why are they still saying?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, the story has appeared in press, hasn't it? So if it appeared in press, then the perceived, should go away.
The traction that he wants, you get.
The new trust says here December 7 polls will be violence-free. Apostle Akap Brima is saying, go out and vote for your preferred candidate peacefully. Nana Kweku Lanta V urges Ghanaian voters. We have Prang Hine advocates infrastructural expansion for Prang SHS as he celebrates in Chifie Yam Festival. We have Tamale Girls SHS wins overall best 2024 KIC farm competition. Okay. And the final one on the front page of the new trust says private health facilities chairman praises NHIA for timely payment of claims to its members as he opens St. FF Specialist Hospital. All right, so that's what we have. Now, this is actually interesting because private health facilities, the chairman of the private health facilities is praising the NHIA for timely payment. But there's also been an issue this morning, I think you were doing it on the news, carrying on the news this morning, where people were concerned that the addition of the dialysis treatment will put undue pressure, and the NHIA may not be able to pay, prompt payments of, the facilities and all of that. But
but then there was a response from the CEO of the NHIA, Dr. Abuaji Da Costa, who says that with the figures they are dealing with, they shouldn't have a problem at all making prompt payments.
Yeah, about 1,200 patients coming at about 500 Ghana cedis each or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll take you to the Economy Times. Final one from me. It says Ghana bags $840 million oil revenue in first half. BOG's gold coin effectiveness to tackle Ghana's dollarized economy critiqued. Okay. ADB congratulates 2024 National Best Farmer. Best National Farmer. Yeah. ADB congratulates 2024 Best National Farmer. Okay. That's in the Economy Times. And that will be it from my end. Take us, you got one more?
I got one more. Okay. The ABC News, it says unemployment, Akufo-Addo records better than Mahama. IPG reveals. IPG is Institute of Progressive Governance. Government support for Ghanaian businesses. My comments twisted. Magdan is speaking. And Africa must end dollar-based pricing of crude oil now. African Refiners President is speaking there. So that's what we have for the printed papers. Let's do a few online stories. And let's go to channel1news.com. Now on channel1news.com, we have vacant seats. Supreme Court to deliver judgment today. Esibeye Boa Baumia can't be blamed for economic mess. And he was speaking to Bernard Avle on the point of view last night. Again, he says Ghana's economy on the right track. And then we also have another story. He says we'll collate 75% of votes by 11 p.m. on election day, says Omane Buama. Let me give you one more. Election 2024. Baumia launches e-pharmacy and telehealth services. And these are all very positive in the right direction. Of course, pretty much supporting the Vice President's digitalization drive. Let me go take you to citynewsroom.com. We have here rising alcohol and drug abuse among health workers threatening patient care. And this is a GMA. This is a story that I'm very interested in. Vacant seats cases. Supreme Court to deliver verdict today. And election 2024. I'll be president after December polls, says Baumia. And I'll end there with that story from citynewsroom.com. Let's delve into some stories further.
Well, I'll start with the one that has piqued your interest.
Okay.
It's on page 2 of the Anchor newspaper. It says GMA alarmed over rising alcohol abuse, drug and sexual misconduct among doctors. And the story reads, the Ghana Medical Association, GMA, has raised serious concerns regarding issues of alcohol misuse, drug abuse, and instances of sexual misconduct among some of its members across the country. President of the association, Dr. Frank Srebwo, who voiced out the worried trend, said such behavior puts patients' care at risk as affected doctors continue to work daily. Speaking during the opening of the 66th Annual General Conference of the association held in Ho, Dr. Srebwo said the association is facing multiple lawsuits over allegations of medical and professional negligence, underscoring the urgent need for action to correct these issues. Quote, we have some health personnel involved in alcoholism and drug abuse, which impacts their quality of life, end quote, he said in a report. Now, he added that there have been severe cases of sexual harassment by health workers, with many complaints still under review by the Medical and Dental Council. Dr. Srebwo further expressed concern over rising legal actions against health facilities, noting that outcomes often reflect poorly on the profession. Wow. And there's more detail in there if you grab a copy of the Anchor newspaper. Stories on page 2. But I think it's a serious concern, and must be given all the importance it comes with, because we entrust our lives into the hands of these health professionals.
If they say that driving alcohol impairs your judgment, and we arrest people for drink driving. You know, if somebody has your life in their hands and their judgment is impaired, you know, what sort of judgment are they giving? What sort of if they're surgeons, you know, or even medical doctors that just have to assess your situation and give a judgment on, you know, a prognosis. It's not good.
It really isn't. And I mean, we are not saying this. This is the president of the GMA saying this, and I mean, raising all the issues that may account for some of the cases they have to deal with, including medical negligence. And then we know of the issues that's come up. I mean, issues of people losing their lives as a result of somebody's negligence, somebody's dereliction of duty, and all that. And so, I mean, it's important that these health practitioners, health professionals, take some of these statements seriously. I mean, we are dealing with issues of misdiagnosis and all of those things, mistreatment, and even over prescription. People are given doses that they don't actually need. You understand? So you know, I think it's serious. If indeed he stands with this, then perhaps he can commission an investigation into some of these things and fish out the bad ones. Because I don't think it's the entire
I don't think so
body that is engaged in this.
But
I mean, a few bad nuts can be fished out.
But you see, like what you're saying, there needs to be investigation. There needs
Clearly.
to be punitive measures meted out to people found culpable.
Yeah.
Because you see, again, in any system, if you don't punish, it only emboldens the perpetrators.
Exactly.
You know, and so we need to curtail that. You know, otherwise we have a mess on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're human. Nobody is saying you can't have your fun, but you should be guided. You should be responsible, knowing the profession in which you are, the oath you swore.
Yep.
You understand? You should be professional in your dealings.
Yep.
We all have your fun, which is all right. I mean, you work hard.
Yeah.
You need to cool off. You need to let loose after a hard day's work. Be responsible about it. Be guided.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to show up for work the next morning. So you should be guided.
What I like about the statement is that it doesn't talk about drug and alcohol usage. It talks about drug and alcohol abuse. You know, and that's the issue here.
Yeah.
And then my other concern is this whole sexual misconduct.
I mean,
you know, because doctors are very powerful people. You know, so within the medical organogram, as it were, of the country, doctors are very, very highly placed. You know, and very powerful people. So you talk about the hierarchical structure. Everybody is under them, right? Nurses are under them. Other physician assistants are under them. You know, lab techs are under them, and all of that, right? So, for me, with such a powerful position being afforded you, also it comes with great responsibility that you have to carry yourself properly, you know, and not abuse your position as a medical doctor. And then I don't even know if doctor-patient issues are even part of this. I'm even looking...
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Yes.
Quote.
Yes.
In some cases, we are left off the hook simply because the victims of our unprofessionalism choose to blame the witches and wizards instead of taking on the system. End quote. You get it? So that means there's a systemic challenge. There's an endemic problem that needs to be addressed. And that's why I'm saying that a proper investigation needs to be commissioned into this thing. You're looking at the alcohol and drug abuse. You're looking at sexual misconduct. And then you're looking at the unprofessionalism that may come out of these things that are being mentioned. You get it? Too many cases of medical negligence. I have a voice note on my phone right now. I'm actually not sure how to tackle the issue because I don't even know where to start from.
To begin,
And it's a matter of medical negligence. It's just that people do not have the hardcore evidence to prosecute some of these matters. And you know how it will drag. Already you are in pain, having lost a loved one. You get it. And so going through all this legal shenanigans, the court system, taking on, I mean, the facilities.
And you know,
it's
a huge establishment.
It is. And so maybe if they weed out their own bad grass, we all should be fine. That's why I'm saying that if he has been able to identify some of these things, it should not be mere rhetoric. Action must be taken. You get it? And then we can all go to sleep knowing that in the event of any emergency, we can trust a health professional to be professional. As simple as that.
As simple as that.
As simple as that.
Let me just bring you this one real quick. Private health facilities chairman praises NHIA for timely payment of claims to its members as he opens the St. FF Specialist Hospital. Now, the chairman of the Ashanti Regional Chapter of Private Health Facilities Association of Ghana and the chief executive of the St. FF Specialist Hospital, that is Mr. Francis Fusu, has commended the government through the National Health Insurance Authority for its prompt and timely payment of claims to its members. Now, according to him, the government is doing well with the payment of NHIS claims to private NHIS hospitals. Mr. Fusu revealed that the government was not owing any private NHIS hospital as this year's claims had been paid up to August 2024. The CEO disclosed this during the official opening of the St. FF Specialist Hospital recently at Danase. Is it Danase or Danase? It's in Ashanti region. Danase, in the Efija Kwabre district of the Ashanti region. Right. So,
good stuff.
I mean, it's good news to know that the NHIA is on top of its game. because if all payments to the private institutions up to August have been sorted out, that's good news.
I think Dr. Abuaji Da Costa needs to be commended.
Yeah, he's doing well.
And he's got Louisa as a
appears to
deputy.
be doing
Louisa,
well.
I know personally, and I know how professional she is.
Yeah.
And so I think the two of them need to be commended for.
I like a lot of things that are happening at the NHIA.
Exactly.
Because in the last couple of months we've had some pretty good news. You know, of expansion of the coverage and all of that.
Inclusion of other ailments, including
mental
cancer,
health issues, kidney, things and all of that. I like what's going on there. So the team at the NHIA to be commended for what they're doing.
Have you seen the flower pot interchange?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you about it after the show.
Really?
Beautiful stuff. Yeah.
Hey.
Well, we're doing some production on it. Viewers will want to stay tuned to Channel 1 TV. You love it. You love it. And then you hear the story about how they're going to develop the space underneath the interchange into leisure areas.
Yeah, I've seen some paintings and some artwork already coming up.
Absolutely beautiful.
Look, listen, this is one of the things, as soon as I saw it, I said to myself, I said, somebody's thinking.
Yeah.
Somebody's thinking. Because you don't wait for it to become no man's land, miscreants, drug users.
Kudos to the urban roads people.
So,
they're doing amazing stuff. They're actually opening up the place for tender people to bid on what they intend doing with the space down there.
I love it.
Which will most likely include a food court, a leisure area, even some sports and all that. You know what I'm saying? The future is pregnant.
I'm telling you. And I thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure, David.
All right. Sports is next.
All right, let's get into some sports. I'm going to be starting with the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Black Stars head coach Otto Addo has called up Osman Bukari, Ransford Yeboah, Koninsdorfer, Forsten Amankwa, Terry Yegbe, Ebenezer Annan, and Kingsley Schindler to join the Black Stars squad ahead of the final rounds of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. The 5 players will replace Antoine Semenyo, Ibrahim Osman, Tariq Lamte, Jerome Opoku, and Inaki Williams, who are unavailable for the upcoming matches. Ghana will play Angola on Friday, November 15th, and will host Niger on Monday, November 18, 2024. The team held its first training session at the Accra Sports Stadium, and they will continue preparations today at the same venue.
All right. Now, some Premier League on City news. Premier League referee David Coote has been suspended after a video allegedly showing him making derogatory comments about Liverpool, and the club's former manager, Jurgen Klopp, was circulated on social media. Now, a refereeing body PGMOL says the suspension comes into force with immediate effect, and it's pending a full investigation. Now, Coote refereed Liverpool's 2-0 win against Aston Villa on Saturday. He's one of the Premier League's most experienced officials and has been refereeing matches in the top flight since 2018. Now, the video being shared appears to refer to a Premier League match that Coote officiated between Liverpool and Burnley in July 2020, which finished 1-1. Klopp criticized Coote after the match, saying the referee failed to give fouls for challenges made on Liverpool's players. In the video, the man alleged to be Coote says Klopp had a right pop at me. He had a right pop at me when I refed them against Burnley in lockdown. He calls Klopp arrogant and also swears several times when referring to him. And that's what we have for sporting updates for you this morning. We're going to take a real quick break. When I'm back from the break,
you will actually be joined with your guest for the news review segment, and we're going to be talking about different things, especially leading to the elections. Apart from the vacant seat saga, which will be one of the hot topics, the other topics will be topics leading to the general election 2024. And the guests are ready, and I'm sure Kuku, you're ready too, right?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's take a quick break,
do this.
and when we come back, we're going to be doing this.
Get ready.
Every objection against you is hereby dismissed.
For Impact 2024 with the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Dr. Eastwood Anaba, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle EC IPAC, Bishop Dr. Bernard Ojiri Asari, and Reverend Dr. David Entry. November 24th to December 1st, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily at Action Chapel International, Prayer Cathedral, Dominion Arena. For inquiries or past information, call 059-230-0069.
Oh, Mansa, what is happening?
Sit down.
Mansa, why is your shop so empty?
You have reminded me of my sorrow. You were with me when I went to the bank for a loan to establish this place. The bank is chasing me for their money now. The interest alone is 40% every year. I can't restock because of the exchange rate. Today the dollar is 15, tomorrow 16. And it's even getting to 17. Why? The price of an item, 1 cedi today, 10 cedis tomorrow. The numerous taxes, high electricity and water bills are killing me. I can't plan. I can't save. I can't even repay my loan. All my capital is gone. Oh! Who will save me out of my misery?
It's okay.
I'm suffering. Where is help?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Do you want a healthy smile?
Considering oral surgery? Hi, I'm Tanya from Bethel Dental Clinic, Ghana. Whether you need a routine extraction or a complex dental implant procedure, you want a dental team that provides compassionate care with superior outcomes. A thorough diagnosis is the first step, which involves dental x-rays to assess your condition. This ensures that you're fully informed and comfortable with the plan you choose. Understanding what to expect during the recovery period is also important. By following these steps, you'll be well prepared to recover smoothly and avoid complications. Learn more about surgical services and schedule your consultation today. Bethel Dental Clinic, the smile starts here.
Healthy smile.
Whatever you need, you will get it here. Everything you want, you will get it here. Franco TV.
Franco Trading Enterprise is your leading mobile phone, accessories, and your electronic retail outlet. You can buy any item online at the comfort of your home from Franco Trading Enterprise. Just download the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store or App Store, or visit our website at www.francotrading.com. You can buy all brands of mobile phones, television, air conditioning, home theaters, and any other accessories. For online purchasing and more inquiries, just call us on 0501 502 670 or 0555 939311. Franco Trading Enterprise, we are still the home of quality mobile phones and accessories.
All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get right into the news review segment. And today, on the news review segment, as always, the segment is interactive. We do want to hear from you throughout the show. So kindly join us with your WhatsApp line, WhatsApping us on 0204-447-033. Number is there on your screen. If you happen to be watching us outside Ghana, you can also prefix that number with +233. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily on all social media platforms, and so you can, as you're watching our streams, you can also comment there as well. Well, my guests are here, they're seated. Let me introduce them to you. But before we do that, just give you a sense of the topics we'll be tackling this morning. We're looking at the vacant seats saga, all right, the Supreme Court to rule today, all right, and so we'll be delving into that. What can we expect from the Supreme Court? John Mahama proposes political solution to the impasse that's going on. Then we are looking again at the 2024 elections. Secondary Court clears Joanna Jan Kujo to contest. And so these are some of the topics we'll be delving into. I've been joined on the set this morning by Richard Mensah. He's the head of programs production at 97.3 City FM, as well as Elvis Darko, the editor of the News Center newspaper and newscenter.com. Gentlemen, you're both welcome.
Thank you.
How you all doing?
Oh, by God's grace, once man is alive.
Okay.
Life is first, anything else is second.
Very important.
Anyway, let's get right into it. The stories are here on channel1news.com. Let me just begin by reading that. The vacant seats saga. Now, the Supreme Court to deliver judgment today. So I'll quickly read that story for you. The Supreme Court will today, Tuesday, November 12th, deliver judgment on the Speaker of Parliament, Bagbin's decision to declare 4 seats vacant. At the last hearing, the Attorney General challenged the legality of the Speaker's continued representation by Thaddeus Sori, citing a lack of approval from the Public Procurement Authority. Now, during Monday's hearing, the counsel for the Speaker of Parliament, Thaddeus Sori, did not appear in court as the Supreme Court prepared to deliver its ruling regarding this contested decision. Now, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu, after listening to the presentation by the Attorney General, noted by court the judgment of this court will be delivered Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. At the heart of this case is Speaker Bagbin's decision to declare 4 parliamentary seats vacant, a move he made under his interpretation of Article 97(1)(g) of the Ghana Constitution. Now, this ruling has sparked considerable legal and political controversy. Majority Leader Afenyo Marking has argued that Bagbin exceeded his constitutional authority by unilaterally vacating the seats without judicial oversight or the option for by-elections. In response to this contention, the Supreme Court issued an interim injunction to halt the implementation of the Speaker's ruling while the matter is being decided. All right, so the story goes on and on there, but I can break into it and let's hear from my guests this morning. Let me start with Richard Mensah.
Well, this case has caught the sense of the nation because of the implication it has on our whole governance structure, i.e. Parliament itself. Also because we are left with some few days for Parliament itself to rise, and then we go into the December election, that is December 7th. So the life of this Parliament ends on January 7th. That is when, January 7, 2025, that's when they will be dissolved and then a new one takes over. Prior to this is an election year, so you also have urgent matters such as the budget, the 3 months budget for the running of the state after the elections. No matter who wins, that's what must happen. And therefore, there's the need to take care of that. And also the fact that we've seen because, the life of this Parliament began with acrimony. and it looks like it's going to end with acrimony. And that is rather unfortunate. But in all this, you would call for calm heads to rule. And then also, for me, what I see about this is that, look, in all of this, the speeches and commentary by all sides involved must be conciliatory, and they must always adhere, or they must always remember that it is for the good of the nation. So the elected people are there, the executives are there, then the judiciary. Now, today, the Supreme Court would deliver its judgment, whichever way it goes. And the story has explained it, what Afenyomakin had problems with. That is the Speaker's resolve to rule on the matter. He says it was not a ruling, but it was an information. That is, to his mind, the Article 97 Clause 1 is very clear. So he just went ahead to just say that, okay, once this has happened, the consequence is this. That's fair enough. Afenyo and co are saying that, no, that doesn't lie within. In fact, some lawyers have argued that even to trigger that, the jurisdiction is even not the Supreme Court, that is the High Court, that you trigger that kind of because it's a human rights thing, you trigger it and then they make a pronouncement. So currently I know somebody, in the midst of the confusion, somebody has filed a case in the High Court. Okay. But what these people are seeking for, what Afenyomakin, majority leader, is seeking for in this particular instance, is constitutional interpretation. One, did the Speaker have that right to pronounce for them? They say that that pronouncement he did on the floor of Parliament amount to usurping the powers of the Supreme Court, amounts to interpreting that very particular article, and therefore that needs to be reversed. When it's reversed, then status quo ante remains. And then two, he was also looking at the fact that even with the article in question, it doesn't expressly give the right to forfeit your seat in this manner, if this is what is done. So you've heard the argument when Attorney General Joe Gate and co appeared before court. They were saying that in any case, I heard arguments from them that in any case is looking at the life of the next parliament. So the next parliament's life has not begun. So for now, people voted into parliament to go and do A, B, C, and D. And you are there to do that. So the Supreme Court would rule on it. Whichever way it goes, the very first question I ask myself is that, where do we move from here? Where do we move from here? Whichever way it goes. Whether the ruling says that, well, the people have vacated their seats, good. Where the ruling says that, no, considering the circumstances, this particular clause cannot be activated to mean that you've lost your seat. In any case, would have business of Parliament to perform. Now, what we've noticed from the various grouping is that they've all taken entrenched positions, and I don't think it's good for. No, it's not. One, the Speaker himself. Two, the majority leader, and now three, the minority people who raised it. And I'm using the words carefully because currently that is how it is. So yes, and these three people have taken entrenched positions. Yesterday I paid particular attention to the press briefing by Afenyomakin, and that worried me a lot, especially the narration that, look, I've had people have gone to Speaker. I was hoping to hear that I have made the overtures, or we've tried to meet, apart from the fact that he said so it was somebody, and then the Speaker told him that he should meet at a particular time. He was there, he couldn't meet the Speaker, and then the next moment they say, okay, following day we are going to court, so go to court. It tells you that the relationship is not that cordial. You don't need, it doesn't need to be cordial, but all it needs is a working environment to ensure that work is done. Now, when people take entrenched positions, everybody will try to exert whatever right he or she thinks he has, and that is what is happening. I think the Speaker had a perfect opportunity to prevent this when they came to Parliament the last time. But the argument has been that, look, if the people are refusing to come there, then you want me to recognize what? because conveniently, you see, even yesterday, conveniently, they've not been able to say that he's disobeyed the Supreme Court ruling. No, conveniently, and he is also find ways conveniently to do that, because in the first instance when they came, that was the first time he announced that this is what I've had from the Supreme Court, and he ended it there. Now people are saying, okay, so why just appear in the chamber and then argue your point that, Mr. Speaker, and me, I also think that would have been the right thing to do. Mr. Speaker, there's this ruling from the Supreme Court, and it's based on your pronouncement the last time that the NDC caucus is behaving this way. In order to make it very clear, please, Mr. Speaker, are you in favor of what is happening? That one, you put the question direct and then see what because when you go and ask him, I didn't see my seat, somebody has taken over my seat, he will conveniently say that he is not the one to arrange it, which is the truth. Which is the truth. Now he says that he is not ruled because in that particular information that he says he gave to Parliament on the day, nowhere in his conversation or in his commentary did he say that because of that, you people, you are now minority, you people, you are majority. But the people just inferred that, okay, if you've declared 3 seats vacant, then obviously we are looking at numbers. It's a numbers game. So they immediately we become. Now they've also conveniently not, if you watch their commentary, they are not attacking the Supreme Court ruling which says that it should stay his hands off until the main case is declared. They are saying that we had a conversation in Parliament. Now the Speaker told us this. Let the Speaker come and tell us that what he did the last time, he's reversing it. You see, and everybody is being sly here. All it's telling you that everybody is showing the small power that he has. That is not good for our democracy. And this, you see, the blame lies on these 3 parties that I've mentioned. These 3 parties, the blame lies at their doorstep. The Speaker himself, and I thought he had a perfect opportunity to have settled matters. Why? The point is that I'm not sure with the ruling of the Supreme Court, Speaker will say that he wouldn't obey it. This constitutional interpretation. This constitutional interpretation. So they interpret it and then give you, so you obey it. So what then is the matter in then trying to correct, and then let's return to the status quo the previous time, and then we wait for the Supreme Court. And the day of when his case was dismissed, the Supreme Court gave indications that they will be doing this case yesterday, and that they will ensure that it's fast track, because in the words of the Chief Justice, he thinks that the stalemate in Parliament is not good, and therefore they must do what they can do in their power to ensure that they return. They will do. So there was clear indication that this is not going to be one of those cases that was going to prolong. So why don't you correct? Let's come back to the table and then we move ahead. But you are also looking at the other side. Did the other side have genuine intentions to do that? Because one, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so you've called Parliament. You've recalled Parliament. We need to come. There are businesses to be discussed. And then on the day, you didn't even show up. There was the excuse that there was a caucus meeting. You know, and then one of them, who is a senior, he's not a backbencher, who's a senior member, on air. When we spoke to him, he said, I don't know whether we have a caucus meeting
or not.
Yes, but then I'm going to check. And that was the caucus meeting. Now, they came back with some stories, and then Kennedy Jipon said that, look, the best thing to have done was to inform the Speaker that we are having a caucus meeting. Because sometimes Parliament, we've been here before, Parliament will say they are sitting at 10 a.m. and they will end up starting the sitting at 2 p.m. Which is on air. One of the parliamentarians also, there's been times they had to wait for people who were mid-air coming. They had to wait for them to arrive, and they whisk them to the chambers, and then they start business. So why wouldn't you even go there to make your case? He's explained that I'm not going there to make my case because I don't think I would want to sit on the other side of the aisle before arguing my case. I think the correction must be done by the Speaker before we enter. Fair enough. In all this, one thing that intrigues me is the commentary by the Attorney General when yesterday he sought to say that the non-appearance of the speaker,
legal,
the legal representation for the speaker is a show of disrespect. And I was wondering, I said, but the last time, his argument in court the last time, if you listen to him carefully, were in twofold. First, the fact that he thinks Thaddeus Sorry shouldn't be representing the speaker because PPA they went for sole sourcing and all that. PPA had not filed for him. And then the second one, that he doesn't think the speaker self should be party to the suit.
Okay.
Because this is merely constitutional interpretation. And if it comes to that, he is the lawyer for the state. And therefore, it solely rests on his shoulders. Now, if you've made all these arguments and you appear in court and the people didn't show up, why would you be worried and be saying that it's a show of disrespect? In all this, I think reason must come to bear on all sides involved. It doesn't do them any good. The aesthetics are not right to be showing off power. For what? When we are left with just some few days to go for elections, let's get the business of government done. Let's get ourselves. You know, I would have wished this energy is rather used in for the energy of the NDC group is used in opposing whatever legislation that has come before the House. That has come before the House that they think that is not in the interest of the public. But not to be wasting it on things that are really not helping anyone.
Thank you. Elvis. Yes. Your thoughts on this as we are expecting them to rule today. Where do you feel? I mean, of course, you can't preempt them, but after everything that's happened, what are you expecting today from the Supreme Court?
I've said it on all the papers say, and I'll say it. The whole problem is Bagbin, and until everybody tells him that it's him.
Why do you feel so?
The whole problem is Bagbin, and it is simple. There's no confusion that will be explained away without Bagbin. Bagbin is the cause, and Bagbin is the only one that can solve it. Let me read what the U.S. Supreme Court has said. It said when the Supreme Court rules on a constitutional issue, that judgment is virtually final. Its decision can only be altered by rarely used procedure of constitutional amendment or by a new ruling of the court. That is the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm saying Bagbin is the problem, and until we tell him in the face, we will never have any end to this issue. Nobody should think that the Supreme Court rules today will end the issue.
Really?
Yes, of course. Bagbin is the problem. I believe, and I support Bagbin's decision that once the people have filed on a different ticket, they have vacated their post. That is my position. That's my understanding of the Constitution. And I support his decision that the people have vacated their post and the seats are vacant. That I support 100%. That is me to my understanding of the issue.
Okay.
But when he made the pronouncement, I support it. But the moment the case went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court imposed an injunction, I expected Bagbin to say, I made this pronouncement. The Supreme Court says it should not be executed. For that reason, my decision is suspended. If Bagbin had made that pronouncement that day, when he said he has received the injunction, if he had added that, my pronouncement is on suspension based on this injunction, all the brouhaha we are going through will not be there.
Would have stopped,
We would have just been waiting for today's ruling from the Supreme Court to finalize the matter. But the fact that he failed to add on that day that because of the injunction, his pronouncement is on suspension. That's why we are having all this. Because if you ask the minority people, they tell you that Bagbin has not said that he has changed his decision. He hasn't said his decision is on suspension. And that is why they will also continue to refer to themselves as what? Majority. And the truth is, Parliament is about numbers. When after elections they go to Parliament, even before they go, we know who is majority because we know who has won what numbers. So once you make a pronouncement that depreciates one party's numbers, it meant that they are no longer majority. This is direct from your pronouncement. So it is Bagbin that has created all this confusion. And as I said, I support his ruling. But at the point where Supreme Court has imposed an injunction, I expected him to say, based on the Supreme Court's decision, injunction, my pronouncement is on suspension, pending the final outcome of the Supreme Court. If that has been said, all this all this confusion we are witnessing today will not have been there. That is why I'm saying that whatever we say, don't blame the MPP, don't blame the NDC. Blame Alban Bagbin for the problems we have so far in Parliament. He is the one that caused it, and we should not hide it. And if we are not telling him that is the problem, and we are hiding around, and the minority says it, and the majority says it, it's waste of time. Because what is causing the entire problem is that pronouncement that he is here to vacate. That pronouncement that he is here to say is on suspension. It's why we are having all these problems. So for me, whilst I support that decision, I am convinced in my mind that once they filed on another party, they have actually left their parties that brought them to Parliament, for which the seat should be vacant. His failure to add on that day that based on Supreme Court injunction, my decision on suspension until Supreme Court pronounces it. That's why we have all this. Because if they have said that, and this will no longer be going out that they still the majority. Because they said they are majority based on Bagbin declaring the seat vacant. So if Bagbin has said the decision I took to declare the seat vacant is now suspended because of Supreme Court injunction, and this will no longer go anywhere and say they are majority. They would have been waiting for the Supreme Court to declare before they take that position. And all this, the confusion that we have gone through till today will not have been there. So for me, truth of the matter is simple. That means the problem. And the fact that he refused to add that he has suspended his decision that day, and the position he has taken when he went to the court to go and argue that the Supreme Court has no power to intervene in his actions, and he lost the case. And now he has refused to enter an appearance. There is no guarantee that if the Supreme Court pronounced today, Bagbin is going to abide by it. Because he had gone to them to argue that they don't have the power to determine what he does in Parliament. And he lost the case. And now, because he lost the case, he has refused to enter appearance in this case. So what is the guarantee that when Supreme Court rules today, he will abide by it, especially if the ruling should go against his decision? What's the guarantee? He's likely to accept it if it goes in favor of his ruling. But assuming that the Supreme Court rules and it is against his position, where is the guarantee that he will obey?
He has no choice, because this one has more to do with constitutional interpretation.
No, so long as he disobeyed that Supreme Court in the first place by refusing to suspend his decision. His refusal to suspend the decision is why we are still here.
Elvis.
So I don't have any confidence that if the Supreme Court pronounced today, Bagbin will not sit in Parliament the next time and go and take another decision.
Elvis, you see, that's why I said that they are all being sly in this very particular. You remember the first time, what they did was that when he came, then he said, I've had this, the writ has been served on me. What is the writ? The writ that you suspend your decision. What he failed to do was to deduce from the writ. So he, in effect, he's telling you that I've informed the House, I have this writ. But like we are saying, on that day, if you are added that, based on the writ that I've received, please, whatever I said, it will now return. Let's wait for this. That is what he has refused to say.
And because he doesn't want to obey the Supreme, that's why he went to the court to go and challenge them and say they don't have the power to intervene in his decisions in Parliament, because he's also an arm of government. And I've said that is an argument that is so hollow, because the authority of this country is in the Supreme Court. Because we say the authority of God, the sovereignty of Ghanaians lies in the Constitution. And that Constitution says if there's anything about interpretations of law in this country, it is only the Supreme Court can do that. That is why President Mills dissolved the Bank of Ghana board. Senior lawyer Sam Okude went to court to challenge and said he doesn't believe that the president has that power based on the act. 4 years time, the Supreme Court said yes, the President Mills was wrong. President Akufo-Addo's debacle with Domelevo. Somebody went to court and said, by the act of the audit service, he doesn't believe that a president can direct the Auditor General to go on leave. The Supreme Court ruled that President Akufo-Addo is wrong and that a president has no power to direct an Auditor General to go on leave. If the judiciary can determine decisions of the president, which is another arm of government, how come Parliament is telling us that the same judiciary cannot determine what they do in Parliament? There are three arms of government. But the judiciary is above the legislature and the executive. Because when it comes to the interpretation of laws in this country, it's not executive, neither is it the legislature. The only authority is the Supreme Court.
When we return from the break, I want you to help us answer this question. Where from this thinking that MPs have said it time, without number, that they are their own masters of the masters of their own rules. I'll have you comment on that after a short break. We'll be right back.
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for interns. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After you're on a line, ting.
Hey, now, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Me, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Get ready! The Harvest Chapel International Overcomers Convention is here! It's a week of the word and demonstrations of God's love and power. Theme: Wisdom for Building the Church. And God's servants ministering are Prophet Eric Oku Parsley, Living Fountain Baptist Church, Bishop Ewisi Bookman, Rhema Calvary Center, and Dr. Michael Bwedi Nyamiche, Makers House Chapel International. And it's hosted by Reverend Fitzgerald Odonko. Prepare your heart, soul, and mind, and let's meet at Tehillah Temple, Harvest Chapel International, South Thessalon, from Tuesday 26th November to Sunday 1st December, 6 p.m. each night from Tuesday to Friday, and 9 a.m. on Sunday. Song ministrations will be by the Harvest Gospel Choir, and Wonyam and Calvis Hammond. Make time to be at the life-transforming Overcomers Convention 2024.
We all have that one friend, always by your side for the big moments and ready to assist. He's always got his eyes on the prize and his heart in the right place. Where would we be without our BFFs? This season, enjoy all 380 Premier League games with your BFF GoTV. Upgrade or reconnect to GoTV Super Plus for the discounted price of just 265 cedis today. GoTV, love it.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with Messiah digital skills, the one customer create games in their website.
A show of boot number one on the ballot.
All right, welcome back. It's still the news review segment right here on Breakfast Daily, and we're having a very animated conversation on this issue of the Supreme Court and what to expect today, what has been happening so far and what to expect today. Now, I just want us to just quickly touch on the whole commentary that we've had several MPs make, that Parliament is a master of its own rules, and how does that play in context of understanding that the Constitution is the supreme law of Ghana, and the Supreme Court is the only body that's mandated to interpret what the Constitution says? Elvis?
Yes, they are the masters of their own rules, because the rules are to govern their conduct. That one, nobody will challenge them that somebody else will determine their rules for them in their house.
Okay.
But the issue at stake is not about only their rules. What their rules specify is also specified in the Constitution.
Okay.
So right now, their rules have become subservient to what the Constitution has said. So at this point, their rules cannot take precedence over the Constitution.
Okay.
If it's a rule in Parliament that the Constitution is silent about or has not said anything about, it's a different case.
Yeah.
But this particular rule that we are talking about, it emanated from a constitutional provision.
Yeah.
So if somebody is challenging or asking the Supreme Court to interpret that constitutional provision, it is the person is not saying Supreme Court should interpret their rules. When you look at the writ filed by Apenyuma, it didn't say parliamentary rules.
No.
It says provisions in the 1992 Constitution have been violated or breached based on their argument, and therefore the Supreme Court should come in. So at this point, it is not about the rules of Parliament.
Okay.
It's clearly about a constitutional provision.
Okay.
So at this point, nobody can say it's the rules, they are masters of their own rules. Yes, it's their own rules if it has nothing to do with the Constitution. But so long as there's a provision in the Constitution that supersedes that provision in their rules, obviously the Constitution will take precedent. That's why the people are asking for Supreme Court interpretation. So for me, nobody should make that argument unless the issue at stake has nothing to do with anything in the Constitution, and that is purely about a rule. For instance, Parliament say come to sitting at 10 a.m. and you didn't appear, and they punish you. Where are you going to? Because the Constitution didn't specify the time you should appear in Parliament. You understand it? It is Parliament that said that rule that you should appear by 10 o'clock. So if they use the rules against you, what court are you going to? It's your own rules. So nobody will come and say, why did you send 10 o'clock for people to appear in the house? That's why the Supreme Court will not even entertain that suit. Because there's no point in the Constitution where it stated that this is the reporting time for members of Parliament. You understand it? So that one, Supreme Court will not come in. But this whole issue we are talking about, it actually emanated from the Constitution. And so long as there's a provision in the Constitution on that, then nobody can go to the Supreme Court to seek interpretation. So there's clear difference between the rules that Parliament is masters of and the rules that they cannot be masters of. And at this point, what is happening? Parliament is not a master of the Constitution.
Okay.
And that must be clear to everybody.
Okay. Now, John Mahama says something. He says the parliamentary impasse needs a political solution, not a legal battle. Now, let me read what that story says here, and then I can have you guys comment on it. John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, has called for a political resolution to the ongoing parliamentary impasse over vacant seats, urging that the matter be settled without prolonged legal battles. He proposed a collaborative approach, bringing together leaders from parliamentary caucuses, the Council of State, the Speaker of Parliament, and religious leaders, expressing confidence that such a meeting would lead to a resolution. Mahama's remarks come amid the ongoing standoff following the Speaker of Parliament, Bagbin's decision, and you know what how the story goes. All that we've been speaking about in the last half hour. All right, let me just come to Richard. To what do you think of this? He says, rather than going down the legal route, which we've gone far down that route already, we should rather have a political solution to all of this.
Well, this was clear in the first place when this whole thing started. However, it's moved beyond. It's moved beyond. So then what he's suggesting will be what should happen after the ruling. Maybe, because in fact, after the ruling, somebody can decide to seek a review. You know, you read the United States, the same for our Supreme Court, you can, it's either the Supreme Court itself, and they do sometimes.
Yes.
They do sometimes.
They empanel again with
they override their own rule, especially when new things have come in. Normally, you see, the law is the law as well, but it also looks at the realities on the ground. So sometimes the realities on the ground dictates for them what they need to do to protect the peace of every other person involved. So yes, we've moved away. Now we are expecting this ruling. When it happens, probably I see his advice in the form of, look, when the ruling happens, let it stay, let the ruling stay, and then let's work behind the scenes to ensure that all the sides now come together and then do what is necessary, because there is a chance that somebody will say, okay, when it's done, they will go for judicial review from the same Supreme Court. So they might add only 2 people or something to the current bench, and then the current people determine it, and then they will re-examine it. But there's no guarantee. But it what it does is that it prolongs this whole stalemate that we are witnessing, this whole standoff that we are witnessing. So yes, there must be a political but the very particular thing in question now is law. And law, you don't solve it with the farmer nyami attitude.
No.
Because when you do that, so let's say this thing didn't go to court, and then we manage to speak amongst ourselves, we say let's go, you still leave the whole issue in abeyance.
Yes.
Let this issue be settled by the Supreme Court, which has the right jurisdiction to do that. Now, earlier on, we were talking about the Parliament being the masters of their own rules. Yes, they are masters of their own rules, their own rules. However, even within their own rules, it says that their rules must be subservient to the Constitution. And I don't think there is any doubt in the minds of parliamentarians there that the Supreme Court is clothed with the jurisdiction to interpret our Constitution. And even within their own rules, for instance, if you go and say within your rules and say, oh, we are masters of our own rules, but when we come to Parliament, parliamentarians must line up, and Marshal will lash everybody 10, 10, 10, 10. This, you are masters of your own rule, but this rule will be a stupid rule, and it will be violating the human rights of the people, and somebody can take you on. And once it's human rights and it violates provisions of the Constitution, the rule becomes null and void. That they should come and they should do into washing, they do and then they enter. No, somebody will just take you on. And you see, the beauty about this whole thing is that I tell people that, look, see, when they say judiciary, the 3 arms of government, and then they say the media is 4th. I don't know what that 4th is. So they say 3 arms of government, they mention. When there's, at least within this our jurisdiction, I mean the region, we know about destabilization of democracies and all this. When that happens, you know the institution that only stays is the judiciary. Because even the French elements who may be causing that recognize the fact that without judiciary you lose law and order. So even in instances where we've had most of our the most brutal of our coups here, they even had to do what do you call it? Tribunals and all those things. In fact, some of our laws now that we use picks is this thing from PNDC law. When you hear PNDC law, NSC law, those kind of things. Yeah, from that era, because they recognize that without law, there will not be any order. But where will Parliament be when
there's no Parliament?
They are even the first group of people that the announcement is made when they are making it. They say Parliament is here dissolved. Because as for the thing, when they say they've sacked the president, they don't need to tell him that he's dissolved. So they say Parliament is dissolved, and then all ministers associated with the president start running.
So they report to
It's very well done.
So there's a need even within this kind of confusion that we are witnessing. There's the need for the political actors to ensure that they don't bastardize the judiciary. Yes, there are concerns. Yesterday also I saw the Mo report, Mo Ibrahim's report on the judiciary and all those things. Yes, there are concerns, but you realize that in all these concerns, there's conscious efforts by even the same political actors to ensure that the judiciary, the wheels of justice works, and that is why they will complain. But they will complain, but they will subject themselves to the jurisdiction of the courts to rule on matters they find not good for them.
Yeah.
And I think yes, we should go the political way, but that will be after this. Let's cool heads gather and then ensure that things are. Then look at the various components that he's mentioned. Council of State is calling on the presidency himself, calling on the speaker himself, calling on both leaders and all those things. Now, when you read the last time you read the mandate of the Council of State, they have the mandate to intervene in cases like this.
They met Parliament.
Yes, they met all of them.
All of them.
Because I've said it. They met. Maybe what you are looking at is now to convene a meeting where, you see, when Afenyo Makin was speaking, Honorable Afenyo Makin was speaking, he was saying that as a majority leader, they came to inform him about something. That this is what the man is saying, that I didn't rule, and I'm sure it was the same thing the Council of State informed the minority and all that. So they are divergent views. So he says he was wondering how that thing changed. So he was hoping that on the day, that's the second recall, the speaker will announce it, but it didn't seem like that is what he did. So now you have divergent views. Maybe you are looking at bringing them onto a table, one table like this. We all bring out our issues and we say, now let's ensure that we make progress, and then we make progress. But for now, let's wait for the court's ruling, and after the court's ruling, we see how we can politically solve. Because yes, the problem is political though, in terms of the behavior and what everybody is.
Okay, so Elvis, so the former president and the current flag bearer of NDC says, I'm going to quote him. He says, the Supreme Court can rule. Then Parliament can override it to say that we think otherwise. So this requires that we get a political solution. And he says, if I were the president, I would have pushed for the case to be withdrawn from the court. And then I called the leaders of the respective caucuses together with the clergy, Council of State, the Speaker himself. I'm sure if they were to sit and discuss the impasse, they will come up with a solution.
I think the quotation, I disagree with part of it, that the Supreme Court can rule, but Parliament can think otherwise. I read the U.S. Supreme Court to you.
Yes.
That the decision is final.
It's final.
Unless there's a constitutional amendment or Parliament itself vacates the position.
Parliament cannot say that.
No.
Unless the Supreme Court itself vacates
the decision.
In our case, we can go for a judicial review.
So if the former president say that judiciary can rule and Parliament will think otherwise, I don't think that. You see, when we are saying rule of law, let's understand law is law. If it says the thing is white, it's white. If it says it's black, it's black. And we must recognize these things. His call for, in this particular instance, I disagree with him about call for reconciliation, because the matter here is a matter of law. And the reason this issue, I'm happy it has gone to the Supreme Court, is that when Michael Quay took his decision, the NDC was peeved. They were never happy about Michael. They also held the same position that Michael Quay was wrong. But nobody went to the Supreme Court for interpretation.
No.
This is the difference. Because at that time, it is only one person. And even if they go to the Supreme Court and they will agree with them, it will still not change the majority-minority dynamics in Parliament. This issue has become a major issue because it will change the power play in Parliament if it stays. And that is why I'm happy that he went to the Supreme Court. There should be a finality on this issue from today, so that in subsequent Parliament, we are not going back to anything like that. To say the Supreme Court has already ruled that this is it, and therefore that is it. And that would then empower subsequent speakers to say the Supreme Court has said it, and therefore you are out, and nobody will challenge it. So the fact that NDC held the same position NPP is holding today, when it affected their candidates, okay? And NPP was opposed to NDC position at the time. Today, NDC is happy, NPP is angry. How do you solve this with a political negotiation.
It must be law.
If you leave this, it will only escalate further in the future.
Yeah.
We don't know how the parliament will look like after 2024 elections. And we don't know what will happen after 2024, whether some MP will be angry with his party and all this. We don't know. So for me, I'm so happy that this issue has ended up by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
I'll be glad to know the finality today. And now I know that Supreme Court has said the Speaker has power to sack you from Parliament once you leave your party. As I said, I agree with Bagbin perfectly that my reading and understanding of the Constitution is that you are going to fire. The time it was like rumors and that one day there's no official reason to back it. But one of the people have gone to fire that they are contesting the next election. And the party on whose ticket they want to contest the next election is different from the party that brought them to this parliament. I believe that they have vacated their post and they should have, the seat should be vacant. That is my position.
It was easier.
Okay.
It's easier interpreting the aspect which talks about crossing over than this particular one. That is why it's going to court. Because in the case of Wayuseni, it was clear. Look,
he declared it himself.
I was there.
He walked around. He crossed.
He woke up from his seat
and went to the
said,
other side.
When the speaker called, he said, "Okay, speak." Then he told speaker that because of A, B, C, and D, I'm going to the other side, so I'm crossing over. Then he went and then sat down. It was the same about Mbappe and who raised the question. The speaker said, "Hey, you don't know the consequences of what you've done. Come on, Marshal, take him out." That one was easy because in terms of crossing over, it's easy. But like he said,
and because he himself declared it.
Yes, this one,
the thing is
because
like
it will change. Because it will change. You see, what the majority too is saying is that no problem. The people have done what they've gone to file as independent candidates, but for now, we think they are still part of our caucus.
Okay.
Which means that even though they filed, they are still part of our caucus, so that we maintain our numbers.
The parliament has not ended.
Yes.
So you see, that is why this issue goes to parliament. I think, look, people may vilify Abel Market for going to court, but I think that we should congratulate him because the outcome of this lawsuit is going to
determine
future precedent for everybody. And then the way is clear. I have said it. I don't have money. If I have money, there's a lot of issues I would have gone to the Supreme Court for interpretation. Because I think that because we have a hybrid constitution, a lot of things do not really show clearly what we want to achieve with it. And I think that we need more interpretations of the constitution. If you don't want to do the wholesale constitutional amendment that we have all been delaying back and forth, if we don't want to do it, then we should resort to the Supreme Court regularly to give us more interpretation. The issues will be clearer. Next speaker that will rule on such issue will not have any problem because this ruling that will come out today will clearly show that this is what the Supreme Court of Ghana has become the law. The constitution has been changed. The law says this is it. So from the next parliament, if you want to make the move, you know what the Supreme Court has already said. And there's not an ambiguity. So when you make the move, you are gone. And then we move on. 3 weeks to almost 1 month, parliament can't do anything because of an ambiguity. So I think that whilst with all this back and forth, we are not happy. What will come out of it will make all of us happy. And that is why I think that we should not vilify a penny market for going to court. Because the decision that this thing will generate will set clear precedent for us that from now on, this is the way forward. Because the Makokwe one has been hanging. The very MPP that was happy about it, today they are saying that they disagree with Makokwe's position. So you can imagine that this does not go to court. And we follow President Mahama's decision that let's negotiate. It's close to election. And then we go to the next election and then other things happen. Where are we going to?
Do whatever is expedient
at the time.
So
I think that the best thing is for the court to interpret. And I think that his statesman advice in this particular issue, because it has to do more with constitutional interpretation, I think that negotiations and political games will not work here. Let the law speak and let's all follow the law.
Let's wrap it up by talking about Joanna Kujo and the fact that she's won her case in court.
She's won it out.
So let me just quickly give us context for that story. And
the point is that issue, the final determination has actually not been done yet. Before that injunction came, and then somebody decided. I think that, you see, these are the reasons why I think when the law is clear, we don't have all these kind of challenges. Right? It's like the constitution is hybrid, so a lot of issues we attempted, and you see, because we attempted to learn from past experiences. So we took certain things from past constitutions and some experiences that happened in government.
So let me just read it.
You know, this particular one is part of the But it's part of the four, the
Exactly,
gang of four.
exactly.
So what is
Yeah,
happening is
Memphis
that the gang of four, the man went to court and said that this is it. Then the NDC quickly or brilliantly vacated that position and then reorganized. And then the man didn't go. At that point in time, the man had decided that he was going independent. So he didn't follow up on the case again because he's gone independent. So then there was no point in going. There was nothing to follow. However, the stay of there was an interlocutory injunction on the woman calling herself as elected by that first one. So when they came to court, they wanted the first one, Accra High Court. The NDC went to argue that, look, the processes as they found it, they've corrected it by that process of reorganizing the thing. So then there should be a stay on the Electoral Commission in terms of printing the ballot papers. Then the judge ruled against it and says that, look, there's no doubt that there's a substantive injunction which has not been vacated because it's a court's order. You vacate it, you know the process to vacate it. So quickly they filed at the same court, and now the court has now vacated that order. That injunction is over. So now they have to come back to the Electoral Commission. What I have my doubts about is the timings, whether the EC will be bound to accept it or not. But well, it was the EC who issued out the statement that because of this, that's why we are not going to accept it. So maybe when you correct it and you send it there, then it will be taken. So
that's the constitutional.
And you see, that's why I'm saying that. That was why I made the earlier point that the point is we must always at every point in time not seek to over bastardize institutions.
The judiciary.
So you see that, well, there will be some of them who are talking down on the judiciary and all that. Yes, we know there are problems, but which was the forum they had to go and seek redress? It's the same forum. And now the forum has said that, yes, we vacated our interlocutory injunction on you. Now go back and then do whatever.
Your process. And this issue Edo has written, attacks on the judiciary. See, I surprised me that lawyers will be attacking the judiciary. Because every judge that is on this bench is a lawyer.
It's a lawyer,
And you, the lawyer attacking the judiciary, no matter what happens, you go back to the same judiciary to argue your cases. If you end up destroying the same judiciary, your reputation as a lawyer is also damaged.
Some of them even may be aspiring to one day be
your
on the
reputation
bench
as a lawyer is also damaged because the people you are bastardizing are also lawyers. So the question is, if you are bastardizing them, the effect of bastardizing them, it's like so this journalist also, so they don't say this journalist, they say Ghanaian journalist. Okay, one or two journalists will do something. Ghanaian journalists. Thank you. So if you are bastardizing the judiciary, Ghanaian lawyers. Now you be sitting there and say, why is this that I'm a good lawyer? Who said you are good? You are a good lawyer, but you all ended up creating the impression in mind that if you are a lawyer, you should not be trusted because you have one issue, one judge or the other, and therefore every judge is a bad judge. You go out there, destroy it. It will affect you, the lawyer yourself. So they should be mindful of what they do.
Let's ensure that at every point in time you are dealing with the identified problems and not things that are way off.
And if you have an individual lawyer, deal with the individual lawyer.
We have some messages.
A judge.
Yeah, we have some messages here. Let me just quickly read. So good morning to you and your guest. I believe this back and forth could have been nipped quite early on by the speaker had he shown more leadership. This is similar to what you were saying. Nonetheless, I think the not showing up by the MPP was a very disrespectful stunt that was pulled by them. All we want is for more smooth operations. Ghanaians are watching. This is Benjamin in Kolebu. And Gertrude from La Paz says, Elvis is speaking for me because I don't have money, so I can't go for interpretation of certain portions of the constitutions. Certain things are very unclear. Good morning, panelists. If the Supreme Court rules on the interpretation today, can another future Supreme Court rule in another interpretation in the future? I guess the question you're asking is that whatever the ruling is today, can it be reviewed in the future?
Yes, the Supreme Court can even review it.
Yes, it's
That was why I was making the point that they sometimes, apart from the law, the letter of the law. They also look at prevailing conditions to know that when it goes this way, this is the problem is going to cause. So to stop that problem, they will give a ruling which they can review anytime.
Yeah. Right, fantastic, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
And if I had my
and they will give their reasons.
I wanted to go to the Supreme Court to go and challenge them on birth certificate ruling. They go up to today. I don't understand the ruling on the birth certificate. The fact that there are loopholes in the system doesn't mean that birth certificate should not be original document to identify identity. I've been born, I've been a birth certificate. Institutions have been set up to do their job. They are not doing it when people are infiltrating it. And he said because there's infiltration in the system, people have found different ways of getting the thing. Therefore, the entire birth certificate system cannot be used for my identity. That ruling today, if you ask me, I still don't understand it. And I will not agree with the Supreme Court on that. And if I had money, I would have gone to the Supreme Court and said, no. I think that you have to tell us that the problem is that the people managing the place are not doing their work well and people are infiltrating. They should fix it. You don't tell me that because there's a problem and people are infiltrating the system, you are now generally condemning the entire birth certificate and say it cannot be identity documentation.
No, but Elvis,
I personally don't agree with that Supreme Court ruling.
Elvis, I agree with them.
Yes, I agree with them. I don't.
Because number one,
why don't they confiscate the passport? Are people not getting passport illegally? Are foreigners not getting passport? Ghana card foreigners are getting some of it.
I think
then we will confiscate everything in this country by that kind of ruling.
We have to go for this.
We will confiscate everything in this country, including maybe even the Supreme Court itself.
Please.
What are you talking about?
The way to the Supreme Court is in front.
I don't have money. I need money.
We will raise funds for you.
Let's do an appeal for funds. Let's do an appeal for funds and start sending some cases to the Supreme Court.
All right, thank you very much, Elvis. Elvis is the editor for the News Center newspaper as well as newscenter.com. And thank you to you, Richard Mensah. Richard Mensah is head of progress production right here at 97.3 City FM. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, Mr. Leto will be giving us some music and we'll have some conversations as well afterwards.
Your health is in your hands, but at some point, it passes on to us. At Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center, we believe that quality healthcare isn't a privilege, it's a right. Equipped with cutting-edge technology, we are fully prepared to effectively deal with all colorectal and proctological conditions. Our team of highly skilled doctors, surgeons, and nurses are renowned for their expertise in minimally invasive and painless laser, ligature, and longoproctological surgery. We are committed to providing a wide range of services to meet the diverse needs of our patients. Mintuba Hospital, your health is our priority. Visit Mintuba Hospital today or call us at 0244 581 541 or 0271 054 204. Mintuba Hospital, in to serve a peculiar health need.
Who are you? You. Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready poor mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me.
It is part of the mattress we did the front there.
Yeah?
Happiness mattress where the dead for.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and this Christmas, Volta Serene Hotel invites you to an unforgettable celebration. Arrive to the refreshing taste of coconut and dance the night away with our DJ on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, enjoy tasty grills, exciting games, and our famous all-white party with Kwanpa Live Band. Adventure awaits with a tour to Mount Jemmy on 26th, followed by an all-you-can-eat local buffet and a cooking competition on 27th. Don't miss out on aerobics, hiking, and a fun-filled pool party on 28th. And on New Year's Eve, get ready for a breathtaking fireworks show and start 2025 with a bang, dancing to the Kwanpa Live Band. Packages are as follows. Call or WhatsApp 0541 539 867 to book now. Volta Serene Hotel, your perfect Christmas getaway.
Dr. Baumian once said,
"But if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you."
Dr. Bawumia, you know, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis.
And today, 11.5. The rate of depreciation. What are we going to say?
$dollar. India, a Turkish near Medinica, ewo doors are the bremi. And black me money deposit. Not dollar, no. 6 cedis to $1. In August 2022, over $100,000. I have the evidence. Between 1,550,000 Ghana cedis, meaning the dollar was 15 cedis, 50 pesos. Where were the strategies?
The dollar, which was selling at 4.2 Ghana cedis in 2016, is today selling at about 17 Ghana cedis. Prices keep rising, businesses are collapsing, yet the so-called economic messiah is dead silent and totally clueless about how to fix it. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, wait. You go put it on this time. This is my man. Good luck.
We'll radio. We have star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let me choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
J'avais dessiné sur le sable son doux visage qui me souriait. Puis il a plu sur cette plage, dans cet orage. Elle a disparu et j'ai crié, crié, auprès de son âme. Mais la belle dame s'était enfuie. Je l'ai cherchée sans plus y croire et sans un espoir pour me guider. Et j'ai crié, hey, allez, pour qu'elle revienne. Et j'ai pleuré, hey, oh, j'avais trop de peine. Et j'ai crié, hey, allez, pour qu'elle revienne. Et j'ai pleuré, hey, oh, j'avais trop de peine. David a fui, mi dombe, be mi alon, mi anuevo, ma vo. David a fui, mi dombe, be mi alon, mi anuevo, ma vo. Vois. Nous tombons c'est n'y a mais nous sommes quatre vanabe mi clan. Vois, nous tombons c'est n'y a mais nous sommes quatre vanabe mi clan. Oh, nos vivos sont des délais. Nous sommes soins des ogni, yatamiyan, comme ça c'est plus beau. Oh, nos vivos sont des délais, nous sommes soins des ogni, yatamiyan, miale bena, mianweo. David a fui, mi dombe, be mi alon, mi anuevo, ma vo. David a fui, mi dombe, be mi alon, mi anuevo, ma vo. Vois, nous tombons c'est n'a mais nous sommes quatre vanabe mi clan. Vois, nous tombons c'est n'a mais nous sommes quatre vanabe mi clan. Oh, nos vivos sont des délais. Nous sommes soins des ogni, yatamiyan, nous comme ça c'est plus beau. Oh, nos vivos sont des délais, nous sommes soins des ogni, yatamina, miale bena, miale. Yesterday was a time of our life. I was all you could think of. I could still remember all the good times we shared together. But today is all about him. I still can't understand how we got here. Oh, I know the Bible. Yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. I know the Bible. Yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. Things I know, the same since you left me. Pain and suffering, yeah, every day. How I wish I could take back the clock to our glorious and lovely days we shared. But today I'm left with only memories. I still can't understand why you're choosing. I know the Bible. Yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. I know the Bible. Yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. I know the Bible, yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. I know the Bible, yes, I know the Bible. Why it has to be you that got to live. Right. This is my latest song called Love from a Distance. Right. Just a little reggae on this one. Okay. Here I am, standing outside, feeling the cold of the night. Yeah, she comes, perfectly made, the goddess of my dreams. Yeah, I am, standing amazed at your beauty and your charm. It was love, I felt love, so much love from a distance. It was love, I could see love, so much love from a distance. I couldn't take my eyes off you, speechless. You've made me. I couldn't tell if I was daydreaming or better still, it was heaven on earth. It was love, I felt love, so much love from a distance. It was love, I could see love, so much love from a distance. I fall in deep for you, and I wish this feeling never ends. And if I'm dreaming, wake me up, 'cause you have all I've wanted in a woman. Let's roll it, come on. Alright, this is a great guitarist, he's called MK. He has been on this production, so shout out to him, MK. It was love, I felt love, so much love from a distance. It was love, I could see love, so much love from a distance. Yes, I.
Wow, lovely. It was what?
Love.
Love, right. Are you in love?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good feeling, Mr. Lito. That's a good feeling.
Yeah,
so this is not the first time, obviously, that you've been here. And so can you tell us about the songs that you just performed right now, especially the differences in genre?
Okay. So I started with a French song, a very old one. Yes, by Frank Lavoine, French national. Yeah, that was like a song I listened to when I was growing up.
Right.
Really, really touching about a loved one that he lost. And it was just at the beach, just thinking about how the song, like how you wrote the song and everything, thinking about her, the love that he shared with her.
Right.
Yeah. And the second was an Ewe song, which is actually an advice to couples and people dating and want to get into marriage. The marriage is a learning curve. You don't expect to have the perfect one. You rather mold each other and make it work. And then I Know the Bab, which was one of my single I released some time ago last year. Yeah, which is about heartbreak, loving someone, a person leaving you, not giving you the reason. Later you come to find out that it was because of another guy. So you ask yourself, what did you do wrong for the person to leave you? So you don't understand. So in PG, I Know the Bab. Yes. And then Love From a Distance, which is my latest single out there. I wrote it when I was in Bali, Indonesia. And the song is just about like being somewhere, feeling love for someone that is very far away from you.
Right.
But you can just imagine you guys being together, sharing love together.
Right, because you were in Bali and probably the person was in Ghana.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. But now, they were all different genres.
Yes.
What would you say it's your forte? Which one are you stronger in? What genre are you stronger in?
Okay. So, I normally say I don't have a genre, actually. I try to sing every genre that comes across. I mean, I've not tried Afrobeats, though, but I sing a little bit of jazz, a little bit of classical music, and alternative music and inspirational music. So I'm trying to find myself everywhere.
Right.
So I have a next song which is coming, which is a funk song actually.
Right.
It's gonna be funk jamming. Yeah.
And if it's a funk song, do you think Ghanaians are actually ready to accept funk?
Okay. So I think for now we have to try to get rid of that fear, that phobia of other music. We have to explore. Because I'm not actually looking only at the Ghanaian diaspora. I'm thinking about outside because French song, people don't understand French here. So I'm trying to reach out to everybody, not selling only in Ghana, but outside, everywhere. Everybody should relate. Like when you pick my album, which I'm working on, you should have one or two songs that you can relate with, which is in your language or any other stuff. So that's what I'm working on.
Right. So what's the upcoming album called?
My Hope.
My Hope. And why?
Because...
is this your first album?
Yeah,
okay.
That's my first album. I've had a lot of singles.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So the first song on the album is actually My Hope, which I performed here before. So I've named the album because of the song, due to everything I've been through my music career and where I've started from and where I'm going. So I'm having hope that there's gonna be more and more. As God is with us.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right, but where can people actually listen to you?
I'm on all streaming platforms. Just type Mr. Lito. You get me, Boomplay, Apple Music, everywhere, YouTube, everywhere you can think of. I'm there, Mr. Lito.
Mr. Lito.
All my songs.
All right, Mr. Lito. Merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi aussi.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Mr. Lito. Now it's time for us to, go on a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be discussing about an upcoming event.
Oh, Ajia.
Abba. My sister, no watch it today. Where is Ajia?
Hospital. They tested her and found out she has malaria.
Again?
Yes. The mosquitoes are too many in this area.
Why? Don't you people sleep under insecticide-treated net?
I don't do. Because I don't feel comfortable sleeping under it. Even the one I had, I gave it to my parents.
Abba. The treated net really works, especially when you sleep under it every night and throughout the night. When you get it at fresh, dry it under the shade for at least 2 or more days.
Like under the tree?
Yes. Or any shady place that does not have direct contact with the sun. At night, ensure you tuck it in well under your mattress or mat. Leave no room for mosquitoes to enter. During the day, tie or roll it nicely to prevent damage.
I see.
When the treated net gets dirty, wash it gently with mild bar soap and hang it under the shade to dry. It can be washed 20 times and can last 3 years.
All right, welcome back. Now, at this point, we're going to cross over to the Supreme Court because today they're sitting to give a ruling on the issue at hand regarding Parliament. Let's go to the Supreme Court.
By court. In a majority decision of 5-2, Lovelace Johnson JSC and Amadou Tanko JSC dissenting on the issue of jurisdiction, the plaintiff's action succeeds. The full reasons and orders of the court shall be filed with the registrar by close of day tomorrow, 13th November 2024. This is the judgment of the court.
Most grateful.
All rise. What didn't you understand?
All right, so that was the ruling from the Supreme Court. Now we're going to speak with our court correspondent who has been bringing us updates from the Supreme Court the last couple of times that we've been to the Supreme Court, Jude Mensah Duncan, and he's joining us on the line right now. Jude. Hello, Jude. All right, so we will try and raise Jude on the line shortly to bring us some better perspective as to what the ruling actually was and where do we go from here shortly after this break.
tell me, is this thing on now? I've been working long like a marathon now. Tying up words, making them a bomb now. Tell me, we turn me alone now. I got a message, we didn't put it in a song now. I'll see you later, all the haters got it wrong now. We're touching the lightning, we're coming alive, yeah. We're feeling inside, yeah. We got the power.
Tank 300, where power meets elegance. Call us on 0501 772222 or 0501 773333.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
Piva.
This advert is FDA approved. In the heart of our communities, change is not just a dream, it's a promise.
I don't have to worry about rising costs and taxes. Dr. Baumia's flat rate tax system is a breath of fresh air. It means I can keep more of what I earn and invest back into my business.
I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, but what matters most is to feel secured. Dr. Baumia's initiative for the elderly is to make sure we are not forgotten. He's giving us the exact care that we deserve.
With digital skills training, I am no longer worried about the future. Dr. Baumia empowers us to thrive in a digital world, making us ready for tomorrow's jobs.
Job opportunities are crucial for my generation. Dr. Baumia is committed to creating job opportunities and entrepreneurship. With his vision, we can build our dreams.
Together, we can transform our nation. Dr. Baumia's plan arranges policies. They are pathway for prosperity for every Ghanaian.
It's time for leadership that listens and acts. A vision for all of us, where every voice matters and every dream is possible. Vote Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
Esuro, vote number 1 on the ballot.
Achoo! Step into a world where words take on life, where verse becomes spirit. Join us on Saturday, 16th November 2024 at the National Theatre of Ghana for the Matrix Verse Experience, Roots and Blossoms. An evening of poetic immersion led by the poetess Apioko and Kwampa, celebrating heritage, examining Ghana's social issues, interrogating trauma, and discovering hope. Through verse and the spirit of art, poetry, music, painting, photography, food art, plant art, and performance, we will connect with our roots and let new possibilities blossom. Dress for poetic ancestry and join us in honoring the power of heritage and beauty of human resilience. For ticket reservations and enquiries, call 027-143-0082. The Matrix Verse Experience 2024 is powered by the Breathing Art Studio and Lioness Communications in partnership with UNESCO and the National Theatre of Ghana. Media partners, Channel 1 TV and 97.3 CDFM. Partners, Ahaspora, Beyond the Return, the Ghana Garden and Flower Movement, Colorcast, Oxfam, the Aguma Tea Company, and Purple Leaf Soap House.
Oh, Ajia.
Abba. My sister, no watch it today. Where is Ajia?
Hospital. They tested her and found out she has malaria.
Again?
Yes, the mosquitoes are too many in this area.
Why, don't you people sleep under insecticide-treated net?
I don't do, because I don't feel comfortable sleeping under it. Even the one I had, I gave it to my parents.
Abba, the treated net really works, especially when you sleep under it every night and throughout the night. When you get it at fresh, dry it under the shade for at least 2 or more days.
Like under the tree?
Yes, or any shady place that does not have direct contact with the sun. At night, ensure you tuck it in well under your mattress or mat. Leave no room for mosquitoes to enter. During the day, tie or roll it nicely to prevent damage.
I see.
When the treated net gets dirty, wash it gently with mild bar soap and hang it under the shade to dry. It can be washed 20 times and can last 3 years.
Wow.
Sew up every small hole you find in it. This is good news.
That's it. Follow the above process of caring for insecticide treated net and sleep under it to prevent malaria. The heat is mostly from your room. Either air doesn't come in or your windows are too small or closed. Allow enough air into your room to reduce the heat.
Hey, Ajia. Customer. I am so glad you're back. How are you feeling now?
I have suffered. What malaria did to me, we should all do our best to prevent it for our own good life. Now, I sleep under the new insecticide treated net I have. It is strong, it does not tear easily, and it works the same way.
It's true. As for the pregnant women, the new treated net is given to us for free at the health centers.
Let's all come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now.
Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID and the US President's Malaria Initiative.
In the realm of national discourse, where every question demands an answer, one show stands out: Face to Face. Face to Face cuts through the noise and goes straight to the heart of the matter as your host confronts personalities in politics, governance, society, and business on the topical issues facing the country.
If you said to me that you made $1 million out of scraps in the United Kingdom at age 19, that will raise eyebrows, and I ought to ask you how you made it.
Mario, first of all, if anybody wants to find out how I acquired my wealth before even 21, it's on the internet. You know, I have built hotels. I've done all of that. It's all there. It's bringing me income. It's yielding. I'm creating employment.
You introduced free SHS in 2017, and for 7 years, you are still having the same problem.
No,
it means you have
that's
not
false.
That's very accurate.
No, that's false.
Schools still have challenges with boarding house, dining hall,
Mario,
classrooms.
I like context.
Yes.
I like debate, but I like factual debate.
Yes.
It's false. And I'll tell you what. Dr. Baumia has humbly acknowledged what our challenges or our shortfalls have been as a government. He has outlined what the successes have also been. And he is giving cogent, clear vision points for each of the sectors.
It's the worst, government we've ever had to combat corruption.
Join Umaru Sanda Amadou every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on Face to Face as he explores the issues that shape our nation. Only on Channel 1 TV.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Channel 1 TV. We're coming to you live from our studio here at number 5, Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. My name is Nana Tufo Boati, and I'd like to welcome you to this special show, which is designed, of course, to bring you up to speed regarding the Supreme Court's verdict on the matter of vacant seats in Parliament. In studio with me this morning is my colleague Fred Tete Jamano. Good morning, Fred, and thank you for coming.
Good morning, Alec.
Yes, soon we'll be joining my colleague Jude Mensah Duncan, who is at the Supreme Court. Now, the court has sat this morning and delivered its verdict, which verdict, of course, overturns or is a ruling against the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin's decision to vacate 4 seats in Parliament. Now, a 7-member panel led by the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu ruled in a 5-2 majority favoring Alexander Afenyo-Mark in the majority leader's position. Now, the Chief Justice announced that the court would provide a detailed explanation to its ruling at a later date. And so, on the matter of the vacation of 4 seats in Parliament, as was directed or ordered by the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, declaring that the members of Parliament for Agona West, Amenfi Central, Suhum, and Fomena had vacated their seats by virtue of their decision to either contest as independent candidates or, in the case of Fomena, Andrew Esiama, contest on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party, had vacated their seats. This morning, the Supreme Court is telling us that the case as brought by Alexander Afenyo-Mark stands or holds, and so that ruling by the Speaker has been overturned by the court. We await the said date. The court will give its, the explanation to its ruling. But quickly, let me come to you, Fred. A 5-2 majority that says that the motion or the application by the applicant succeeds. Basically, what is the understanding of this?
Okay, so Nana, what it means is that what the interpretation given by the plaintiff as to what Article 97 G, H, and I means had succeeded. The plaintiffs were of the view that the Article 97 G, H, and I of the Constitution basically meant that you could not have an action, or the actions taken by the members of Parliament could not be attributed to this particular Parliament as it sits now. So their decision to run as independent, their decision to run as parliamentary candidate on behalf of another party, it's a future decision, a future action, not an action which would affect the sitting of Parliament, this current Parliament. So that's been the reading and understanding of the 97 G, H, and I by Mr. Alex Afenyo-Mark and his lawyers. And today the court tells us that that succeeds. As to the reasoning behind why it succeeds, we are yet to know. Yeah. The court says that it would deliver or would give out or releases full judgment in the course of the day, in the course of the day when it's ready, at a later date. But you see, Nana, I have a challenge with this decision taken by the court. Right. Not.
Fred, I'll come to you for that. But Jude Mensah Duncan is joining us now via telephone from the court. Hello, Jude. Thank you so much for your time. You were in court. Exactly how did the Chief Justice put this ruling?
So, Nana, before there was a very short judgment from the Supreme Court today. Her leadership, the Chief Justice, Getty Tokomu, appeared in court together with other justices. And in less than about 2 minutes, she was done with the ruling. And her exact point was that the plaintiff succeeds. And she goes on to state that it was a 5-2 decision with Justices Avro, Loveless, Johnson, and Justice Ibrahim Tanko, and the two defendants. She also went on to mention that a full judgment would be given later. So that is what has transpired in court. And Nana, as we speak to you right now, lead counsel for the plaintiff, Honorable Joe Bassi, MP for Esikado, Ketan, is currently speaking, and he is expressing his satisfaction with the judgment from the court today. Earlier, the majority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Mark, also spoke to the press and he described this as a win for the country's democracy. According to him, the matter ought to be decided but should be seen in its pure legal lenses. And for him, this is another mark of the country's democracy. He was asked the question on what the majority caucus intends to do with the judgment from the Supreme Court. And it was clear that Parliament will be recalled. And behind him, some MPs from the NPP side were also shouting and saying that in the Speaker refuses to acknowledge them, they were going to fight him to content. So basically, that's what has transpired. Early on, the Attorney General, who is party to this case, addressed the media and was making the point that he was satisfied that the matter has come to a conclusion. it and call on all parties to abide by the judgment from the court, especially the Speaker of Parliament. And when questions were asked about what the position of the MP would be should the Speaker of Parliament not go ahead with the judgment, he was clear that they revised their notes and go ahead with the next line of action, which is found dispute of content. So this has been what has transpired in court, a very short court judgment. Essentially what it meant is that a plaintiff in this case, who was Alexander Martin, who brought the matter before the court on the constitutionality of the Speaker's order of 4 vacated seats, namely Cynthia Mamle Morrison for Agona West, John Kwache of Subu. We also have Andrew Esiamu Amwapa of Pomina, and finally you have Kojo, and finally you have Peter Kwache Aka, who is Member of Parliament for Amenfi Central. Essentially, we know the background to the story of 14 former minority leader Harun Idrisu declared that he was going to invoke Article 97, Clause G and H, which basically talks about the consequences of or when a member of Parliament should lose his seat, right? And according to him, Article 8 of the Constitution was quite clear where it talks about the fact that if a member of Parliament or if an independent candidate in Parliament switches his allegiance or joins a political party, you need to keep an eye on specific reference to former MP Andrew Esiamu. As you all know, he came to the 8th Parliament on the ticket of an independent candidate. So the Speaker will subsequently hear the matter in court in Parliament, and on October 17th, he ordered that the 4 MPs I just mentioned to you seats were vacant based on his understanding of Article 97. So majority leader Apollo Martin decided to take the matter to court, and there were subsequent applications from the office of the Speaker of Parliament, who I must also say his counsel, sorry, for the past 2 days that this matter has been at the Supreme Court, did not show up. It's unclear why he did not show up. So this is what we've gotten to. Judgment has finally been out, and it goes in favor of Alexander Apenyo Martin, who is currently now with his NPP caucus members, some of them singing their party anthem and celebrating what they describe as a very important win for the country's democracy.
Right, very well. Now, for the NPP or the majority side, did they give any indication as to when they intend to trigger processes for a recall of the House?
So that wasn't explicitly said today when Apenyo Martin was speaking to the press. Now, according to him, processes are underway to report Parliament, but he didn't specifically indicate when they intend to go ahead with the recall of Parliament.
Very well, Jude. Thank you so much, and we trust that you bring us more in your subsequent report. Thank you so much. Jude Mensah Duncan there, my colleague here in the Channel 1 newsroom, and of course the City newsroom, bringing us up to speed with what transpired in the Supreme Court today, where a 5-2 majority decision has affirmed the application as filed or brought to the court by Alexander Apenyo Martin, the majority leader. Now, earlier, Fred, you had some concerns regarding the decision and how it was communicated.
Yes.
If you can run us through that.
So,
briefly.
as I was saying, I had some challenge with the decision given by the court, not as in the substance of the decision, but how it was given. You know, the court today has declared the Speaker's actions as unconstitutional based on their readings and understanding of the Article 97 G, H, and I of the Constitution. But you see, Nana, this is a case which had been of public interest. This is a case which had eventually brought Parliament to a standstill. This is a case which had found different legs, from a stay of execution to an application to vacate that stay of execution, to even going into the House of Parliament, where parliamentarians themselves disagreed among themselves as to where to sit and where not to sit, what the court was headed to, what the Speaker was supposed to do. This is a matter which everybody in this country, every concerned citizen of this country was interested in, to see the finality to it. Yes, it's brought finality by the decision or the announcement by the Chief Justice, but it leaves a lot
to be
open.
desired.
a lot to be desired, a lot of things opened. You see, I was expecting that, looking at the seriousness of this case, looking at how important this issue has become, the justices of the Supreme Court would have sat and read a full judgment, especially when it was a 5-2 decision, a 5-2 majority.
It wasn't a unanimous
decision. We needed to understand the reasoning of the court. We needed to know why the court believes that the understanding of Article 97 G, H, and I meant that the members of parliament or members of parliament who decide to act or take a decision which would affect the next parliament and not this parliament do not lose their seats. We needed to know the reasoning why some of them agreed with the arguments made by the Attorney General and Alex Afenyomarkin and why the others disagreed. You understand? This goes to really give an understanding and explanation to the entire Ghanaian populace. But as we speak now, nobody knows the reasoning. Nobody understands why the court has reached this particular conclusion. All we know is that the court says the speaker's actions are unconstitutional. Yes, I know that it's part of the practice of the court to give judgment and later come up with reasoning behind its judgment. It's happened a number of times at the Supreme Court. It's not new. But you see,
but you are looking at the importance of the case.
Of this case. A case where an application is filed on the same day. The court sits here and panels sits and hears and gives a ruling on the same day. You understand? A case where another application is submitted and the court says, I want to quickly hear this case to end the crisis we find ourselves in. But you might have found a way of ending the crisis, but have you ended it fully? You haven't. You haven't ended the crisis fully, because as we speak, yes, your ruling is final, even though it can be challenged through a review.
Yes, so I was going to come to that, whether
even though
this is the end of the road.
Even though it can be challenged through a review.
There's a window for
a window for a review where somebody can say, look, I disagree with this. So I want a judicial review or a review of the court's decision, your own decision. But you see, for me,
and the Supreme Court has the powers to review its own
decisions, yes. But before you even go to the review,
right, Fred, hold on for me. I understand the majority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin is talking to the media. Let's get that right away.
House, you have a responsibility to educate the public and explain issues to them, and then also I think we take this opportunity to let go what happened yesterday, the disagreement we had, because
Honorable, finally, Honorable, so finally, Order 53 of your standing orders gives you the power to trigger a recall of Parliament. When should we expect that?
We have just completed this process here. I am sure we would engage. It's time to engage. It's time to allow deeper reflection. It's time to sit together. Okay, we sit together and look at the bigger picture. I think cool heads will prevail. I'm told Mr. Speaker is out of the jurisdiction. We pray that he comes so that we sit together as a people. That is what is important.
So, Nana, Majority Leader Alexander Afenyomarkin engaging us briefly. I'm also been joined by his lead counsel for the plaintiff, Joe Gatti, Member of Parliament for Esikado Ketan, also joining us for brief thoughts about what just transpired. Counsel, I'm sure you must be very happy with the decision of the court.
Well, I mean, I think I've been in law for too long. I accept decisions as they come. I mean, if they had ruled against it, I would have accepted it. I've come to realize that in this matter of law, you must accept decisions as they come. You go to court and a judge is engaging you, questioning you. You may think that the judge doesn't like you, so to speak. But you'll be surprised that that judge will rule in your favor. Maybe he needed some clarification. Some of the judges too will heckle you, and then they will go the way you expected them to go. I don't want to comment on that, but I think that what I'm saying, people understand. If you listen to what happened yesterday, you see it today, you understand what I'm saying. But I want to talk about another matter. When this thing traveled, it reached a point that there was this dispute after whether Markin was the majority leader or the leader of the caucus. I think it was the most unnecessary dispute, because what happened was that even before today, the Supreme Court has stayed the status quo to the time before the Speaker's ruling. So therefore, during this period, there has been no time that Markin is not the leader of the majority. He has, I mean, yes, the leader of the minority is also the leader of the NDC caucus, but he's the leader of the minority. And so yesterday, Markin was the leader of the NPP caucus and the majority leader. And today also, he's the majority leader.
I think as we move on from it back to the point, it's fair enough, but to the point where the NDC were still holding themselves as majority, and when we are not heard, and when we are not heard explicitly from the Speaker, you know, when he gave the order to vacate the 4 seats, it was clear and loud. But we didn't hear him like that on whether who was the majority. And mind you, and he also had a press briefing where this question was posed to him, and he didn't make any such pronouncement. There have been criticisms that issues of that nature should be handled in Parliament and not at the court.
What I'll tell you, and even just now, then the decision of the Supreme Court is useless. We must wait what the Speaker will say. Because from what you are saying, it means that the decision of the Supreme Court, I keep on saying that we should not take these things personally. You know, when I was a much younger person, I used to take these things personally. When I lose a case or I win a case, I get emotional. No, there's no emotion about that. I mean, yesterday, 1 or 2 judges were a little rude. I was just cool. I'm not faced by these things. They know what is motivating them. What motivates me is the country, Ghana. It is one country we have. NDC, MPP, you, me, our passport, Ghana card. And so we need an oasis of peace. I'm glad this is behind us. I pray that this election too is peaceful. Whoever wins, God bless the person. Whoever loses, God bless the person. We work together to make Ghana better.
I want to talk to you briefly about Sikado Keita, but still on the case. Your colleagues on the other side, counsels for the Speaker, these 2 days did not show up. Thaddeus Sorry, Justice Ramsay, they were representing the Speaker when this whole case started. Yesterday they didn't show up, today they didn't show up. Have any idea why they stayed out of court and what the possible implications could be?
Let me tell you let me confess about the relationship between me and Thaddeus Sorry. There was a matter involving my law firm and somebody. And I asked my wife, President of Bar, that which lawyer should we use? She said Thaddeus Sorry. So Thaddeus Sorry is our lawyer.
He's a friend.
Not just our friend, he's also a lawyer. Of all the lawyers in Ghana, my classmates, my friends, my relatives, I have cousins who are lawyers. She herself has relatives who are lawyers. She said, let's use Thaddeus Sorry. So I have so much respect for him that I won't comment on him.
Thank you. So, Nana, clearly, lead counsel for the plaintiff, Joe Gatti, expressing his satisfaction with the decision of the court. Like I was saying earlier, we know how this case has traveled from October 14, when the former minority leader made it clear that he was going to bring this matter before the Speaker of Parliament for some clarification on it. Subsequently, the majority leader, Alexander Penyo-Markin, will take this up at the Supreme Court. There will be applications from the Speaker of Parliament trying to overturn the earlier ruling by the court. That all did not work, and now we've gotten to the point where judgment has been passed on this really landmark case. The majority side will not speak on when they intend to recall Parliament. As you all know, Order 53 of the Standing Orders of Parliament gives them the right to be able to recall Parliament, gives them that opportunity to recall Parliament when it's on recess. But it is Alexander Penyo-Markin will not mention when that will be done. But according to him, essentially, they are happy with the decision.
Very well.
And they are hoping that in the coming days, their colleagues on the other side, the NDC caucus, would abide by the decision of the court, urging them, he was urging them as well, not to involve themselves in any actions that will undermine the decision of the Supreme Court.
Very well, Jude. Thank you so much, Jude Mensah Duncan. And you heard and saw him there speaking with his new best friend, Alexander Penyo-Markin, the majority leader, and of course his counsel, Joe Gatti. Fred, so basically quite an exciting feat for the applicant and his counsel, as is expected.
Yes. The court now has declared the action unconstitutional, something they have held from the very beginning. I'm also happy and glad to hear the majority leader indicating that he's going to reach out to the minority and the speaker for a conversation to happen. This is what we have been calling for all this while. So once this is going to happen, it's good for our democracy. The court has spoken, and we would all have to move forward because we live in a constitutional dispensation. So, I mean, that's all we can do for now and accept the decision of the court.
Very well. Thank you so much, Fred Tete Jabano. This is still Channel 1 Television from the court. So we're taking you to the head office of the Electoral Commission, where the chairperson is currently addressing members of the various political parties. Let's cross over to the EC.
Per Article 54 of the 1992 Constitution and Regulation 13.4 of CI 127, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Freedom Party and provided them a period of 10 days within which to file a new candidate. Article 50 of the 4 of the 1992 Constitution reads, where at the close of nominations but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nomination. In that respect, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Freedom Party and asked them to present a new candidate within 10 days. In fulfillment of that request, the Ghana Freedom Party presented Mr. Apiakubi, who was before then the vice presidential candidate to Madam Ekwe Adonko. The party presented him as the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party. He and the party went on to submit their nomination forms on the 5th of November, and our technical teams went to work immediately reviewing the nomination forms. At the end of the process, they detected a number of errors and some illegalities with the form. The candidate's attention was drawn to these errors, and the party was provided an opportunity to correct them. They did that. In the view of the Commission, it was not in our bosom to provide the political party the opportunity to correct some of the illegalities that we found on the form. In that respect, the party did not draw their attention to it because the Commission does not feel that it is in its bosom to allow any political party to correct illegalities with the form. The Commission, therefore, as at yesterday, wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election. This morning, we are here to inform you of the Commission's decision to maintain the presidential ballot as it is. As you may be aware, and I believe all of you have representatives in the printing houses, we are almost 90% complete with the printing of presidential ballots. And you are also aware that following the passing of Madam Ekwe Adonko, we requested the printing houses to cease printing until the law had taken its course. Now that the presidential candidate or the nominee has been disqualified, the Commission would like to inform you that the printing would proceed on the current ballot as is, in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis. And so our task here this morning is very simple. We are not here to change positions. We are not here to reballot. We are simply here to inform you that the Commission intends to notify our printing houses to proceed with the presidential ballot as is. It will proceed with the ballot that bears the name and the image of the name of the Ghana Freedom Party, their symbol, and the image of Madam Ekwe Adonko. And we believe that a lot of discussions and advertisements will go out to prevent the citizenry from voting for her. So this is our mission here this morning. It is a simple one, as I said. We'd like to thank you for your time and your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Please, to allow some few questions.
If they are.
So, please, if you want to ask question, let me see my hand so that I will select the first time. And I think that is my hand. Other than that, I will do one.
The first 5.
So 1, 2.
2. It's okay. Everything is clear.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chair.
You've signed it. I think it's okay. You can give it to them. If I heard you right, my name is Jerry Owusu. No question. I'm the General Secretary of the Electoral Party. Madam, I just want to know if Madam Epiazonko image, the party logo, and the space for the town printing is still going to be on the ballot like that. What happens if people go out and still vote for her to win the election? I know very well that the CI says ballot will be annulled.
Exactly.
But if she wins, that means nobody will win the election, and Ghana will still suffer.
If you are not, you know, we can't get it, you cannot win.
Exactly. No, people, it's percentage.
It will not be counted, so it will not be.
So, are you saying that the person who comes out?
No, the chair was bad from that. No,
you just interrupted me. I just want to understand very well, because if her vote, if she wins by number and it's annulled, it means the second person's vote or the second person that we are going to accept as a winner, definitely the person's vote will not get up to that 50% plus. And I want to understand it very well. Now,
if I ask question and I will tell you to no. I gave them and I told you.
Thank you. The decision taken as it pleases the commission. The LDC has no issues with it. We have no issues at all. We go by that. I'll take the opportunity to request for our drive today, because we've taken notice of the release of the summaries that we are given of the register. And then, so that was the basis. So we don't need the platform for us to now take register, and then we will take advantage to also request for, because there was a statement under the summary that talks about the absentee voters. Some polling stations were now cancelled, they are no more in existence, and that means the difference of the 884. So we want to know whose polling station, so that we will amend our records accordingly. As we speak now, we don't know whose polling station, which have been cancelled and all that. So if you could graciously give us those polling stations which have been cancelled and then they no more exist currently, so that we can amend our records as we move towards that. Yes, then the issues about this without biometrics. Yes, the without biometrics, that's the missing one. We've seen that the addition, fair enough, we'll study it, very negligible, so we'll study that one again. But this is clearly what we're looking for. And then We're not antagonizing you for that. We just needed this information so that all of us will be on the same page. And we are grateful for that. Very, very grateful to the EC for providing this information. And then there's additional information that we will further meet the regular breakdown. Of course, this is just additional reports. We will need the original breakdowns of this decision.
Why do you want to leave it around? Go do it yourself. No.
Yeah, please go ahead. It's not possible. The voice will be everybody is dead, so you will not win.
I am General Secretary of the All People's Congress. Madam Chair, I stand to be corrected, but if I heard you right, in your submission, it means that there are two things that were involved that called for the disqualification of the nominee of the presidential candidate of GF. One, it was about some illegalities. And then two, some other things that they didn't do right that resulted to that. But in the first place, if as a commission, you are very much aware that you write to a political party to do some corrections. And that aside, even if they do the corrections and do them very well, they will still be disqualified. Why would the commission still go ahead and then ask them to do the correction? After the correction is done, then they come back and you are fully aware that as a result of the illegalities, they will still be disqualified. That's something that we do not understand. That notwithstanding, I also heard the commission during the disqualification of the PMC, you made mention of illegalities. And the second time again, we are hearing of illegalities with regards to this current disqualification. What is the Electoral Commission doing with regards to issues of illegalities that comes from the quarters of political parties? Do you just allow political parties come with issues of illegalities and nothing is done about it? We just come and you tell us that there are some illegalities that has also resulted into the disqualification of presidential candidates. What is that about it? Or we can equally come with illegalities and then those conflicts. Is that what is happening? I just want to know.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I've made some observation over a couple of meetings. I want to find out who is the main staker of this meeting. Because we are making crucial decisions and we need to ensure that these are well captured so that tomorrow, we'll be able to refer to them as it is. And a couple of times we've had meetings where we've read no minutes. This is an emergency meeting, so I could excuse that. But I think it would be good to know those things. And I'll be happy to know whether somebody took note. And I think the relevant portions of which your decision is based on in relation to law should be clearly spelled out, so that, and I'm happy that, I'm sure for that reason why we have the commissions lawyer here, so that tomorrow, if somebody is making any assertions, they will have no doubt in their mind what the law's position is and what your decision was based on in relation to law. Thank you.
I believe that the whole country and every interested Ghanaian living anywhere, those that are the have passed away. So it is very unlikely that people will vote for her to win the election. In any case, if one or two mischief makers vote for her, those votes will be about, they will not be counted for them. And I can assure you that the whole world and all the voting population are aware that Madam Ikuya Donko has passed away. So it is very unlikely that people would vote for her. And if there are any such votes, they will be annulled. I know that Mr. Tanko had also acknowledged receipt of the summaries, and he indicated that he will be picking his hard drive with the register today. And I think he's acknowledged with gratitude the summaries, because I'd like to mention again that the Commission is under no obligation to provide breakdowns or summaries of the register. What we are required by law to do is to provide the parties with a certified register, and we have done that in fulfillment of the law. Yes, because we are all working together, you accommodate the views and the requests of political parties, and therefore it is not a challenge to do so, but it's important to place on record, as Citizen Atu said, is record keeping, that we are not required by law to provide summaries or breakdown of the register to the political parties. So I think that what we've done, we've gone over and above what we are required to do. And so I think that settles it. I think that Mordecai talked about the illegalities. I don't think it is our place to discuss what the illegalities are, whether it is with the GFP candidates nomination or with the PNC. We're all aware that the PNC is in court. It is not our place to discuss illegalities. Those illegalities will be referred to the security agencies to deal with. But we do not believe that it is our place to, to discuss illegalities. I think Citizen Atu wanted to know the law on which we are standing. If you look at Regulation 72B of CI 127, it requires that the nomination form of each candidate in an election for president shall be signed. I was just mentioning that Regulation 72B of CI 127 states as follows: the nomination form for each candidate in an election for president shall be signed by no less than 2 persons who are registered voters in the area of authority of each district assembly. And therefore, candidates must ensure that the supporters that they provide to fill their nomination forms for each district are indeed registered voters of that particular district. You cannot pick and choose as you please, or find persons in one district and document them as your supporters in another district. That in itself is an illegality, because the law is very, very specific that for each district you must have 2 persons. And so if you are a presidential candidate, the onus is on you to ensure that the candidates or the supporters that you present are indeed of that district, and from that district that they support your candidature. And so this is what we used to disqualify him, because on the face of his form, it was detected that some candidates, some supporters had been brought from other districts to support him in districts where they were not registered voters.
Madam, I think my question was more on the disqualification. It was based on you taking a decision to continue to let the status quo remain. And there are provisions in the law. And I wanted that to be out there so that at least the general public will understand, based on what are you carrying on with the status quo remaining as the printed ballots have already been done. Because I know that...
Okay, I understand. I think that it's important that our laws are not do not really take into account, such occurrences. However, the law refers to a situation where a candidate withdraws after, nomination, after the printing of ballots and so on. The law provides an opportunity for the commission to continue with the ballot paper as it is. However, it is not clear on death and situations like this. And even if you look in the law, CI 127 and the Constitution, it doesn't expressly focus on a presidential candidate. If you read the provision 54, you go down, you realize that it's mainly talking about a parliamentary candidate. So, of course, we've had to stretch the law, but there's no clear provision that says that when a candidate dies and the candidate is on the ballot, you should use the ballot as it is. However, if you look at CI 127, Regulation 10(5), it says, where a duly nominated candidate whose name appears on the nomination list displayed at the constituency center withdraws as a candidate after ballot papers and related election notices have been printed, the ballot papers and related notices may continue to include the name and other particulars of the candidate. So basically what we are saying is that we don't have very clear provisions. I believe that after the elections we can all, based on what has happened, this experience, we can re-look at the CI 127 and fine-tune it to take care of such situations. So we'd like to thank you very, very much. Oh, Evans, we have to go. We'd like to thank you very much. At this juncture, we'd like to crave your indulgence to bring the meeting to an end. The Commission has a meeting going, a planning meeting of all its regional directorates. So we'd like to crave your kind indulgence to bring the meeting to an end. Thank you very much. Take over.
All right, that was Chairperson for Ghana's Electoral Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, addressing political party representatives at an emergency inter-party advisory committee meeting. Clearly, the agenda for the day had to do with the Ghana Freedom Party, who unfortunately lost its founder, leader, and flag bearer, Madam Equia Donko. The party subsequently presented Apia Kubi as its flag bearer, and today we are being told by the Electoral Commission that due to some illegalities in the nomination forms, the GFP and its flag bearer have been disqualified from contesting the 2024 general elections. The EC, however, is going ahead with the printing of the ballot papers as it is in its current form, which has the picture of Madame Equia Donko, who has passed on the ballot paper. Now, Fred, I don't know. The EC, explains that there wouldn't be any challenges because any vote, should there be, that will go to the Ghana Freedom Party will not be counted.
Yes.
Possible challenges that may arise from this.
I think there are some challenges because you see, the moment you leave Equia Donko there, we've heard a number of people who have expressed anger with the two political parties. The NDC and the MPP. I admit and I hear the Electoral Commissioner saying that everybody in this country knows that the Madame Equia Donko has passed away.
Right.
So she doesn't believe that any well-meaning person would go ahead to go and vote for Equia Donko on the day of elections. But you see, there are also people who would use that vote as a protest vote.
Yeah.
Would go vote for her as a protest vote. So, in the instance where majority of the people go out to go and vote for Madame Equia Donko, who's passed away, as a protest vote, what happens to our electoral system? What happens to our election? Yes, we are told that those votes will not be deemed as void. those
if they're
votes,
deemed as null and void, then they are not counted.
They are not counted.
But
So
the tendency of that tipping even the election into a second round.
Not even into a second round, into where majority of the people have voted. Where majority of the people have voted for a candidate who has passed away. We are told we have about 18.7 million people on the voters' roll, valid voters on the voters' roll. And out of this 18 million, this is just an assumption. Out of the 18 million, you have about 15 million voting for the woman. What happens? You understand?
Yeah.
I try to understand them by saying that, look, we don't have enough time. We need to save money for this country and everything. But you see, it's also to be able to get out of the controversy of balloting and non-balloting.
It looks as though Fred Duho is engaging at the Electoral Commission. This must be a representative of the Ghana Freedom Party. Briefly, let's hear what he's been saying.
Arrange and do the Congress after the burial and the final funeral rites when you get to the grave. So the 2027 is our decision now.
Okay. Your full name and
Richard Boche, that is the national organizer of GFP.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. So that is Richard Boche. He described himself as the organizer of the GFP, which has since been disqualified by the Electoral Commission. And according to him, they are happy because this is the time to honor the memory of Madame Ekriadonko, who was the former flag bearer of the GFP. And so generally the meeting that was held by the Electoral Commission has basically been about the fact that the candidate that was used to replace Ekriadonko has been disqualified, but the ballot paper is going to be maintained in that order, and any vote cast for her would be annulled, basically to make way for the other candidates on the ballot paper to be declared in whose favor the election may turn. Now, okay, let me go and do this thing over there, then we
Very much. Fred Duho from the Electoral Commission. Still have Fred Jabano in the studio with me, so from one Fred to the other Fred. So this is the position of the EC.
Of the Electoral Commission.
Yes, and you notice that this is what the NDC actually had wanted.
Yes.
Because they were fighting against the possibility of having to just shift
the numbers.
Taking Madame Ekriadonko off the ballot and then shifting the rest up. They were against that.
Yes.
Because then what that would mean is that they will have to move from their already advertised 8th position
to another, maybe
maybe 7th position.
They were calling for a reballot.
A reballot.
Yes.
Yes.
So as I was saying, the EC, in its wisdom, to avoid all these controversies, decides that let's just keep it as it is, so that we have peace ahead of the election.
Very well. Let's go back to Electoral Commission. Fred Duho is engaging Evans Nimako, Director of Elections for the MPP.
In Parliament, and the judiciary has given a position on it. So for me, we should allow the law to rule, not individuals. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you very much. Sure.
Fred Duho there speaking with Evans Nimako of the MPP, I'm sure. I mean, we caught on late, but it looks like it was a comment stemming from the earlier case in court, the Supreme Court today. The Deputy Director of Elections, Dr. Rashid Atanko Computer, is speaking now. Let's hear him.
The EC didn't ask us to go and collate. I don't respond. I won't respond. I won't respond to them and then glorify such rubbish. That is not our work. We are a political party. Those who are supposed to do the job is the EC. Ghanaians don't pay their taxes to us as a party. They pay taxes to the EC to do this job. This is administrative. So we requested for it. I was grateful to thank them for bringing that one, but it fell short of the original summaries. And then that's why we asked for. And clearly they know it. That's their job. That's why they were silent about it. It doesn't take the mouth of a political party, which will not even make a 0.001% in an election to ask me that. They don't need to have that. We will follow it through. We've taken notice of it, especially the issue about the polling stations which do not exist again. I mean, this is the first time they are announcing, and I'm sure you, the media, have taken notice of that. This is the first time. I mean, so if we hadn't asked, all these things wouldn't have been up. We would have been going to elections knowing certain polling stations exist, only to go there and then voting will not take place in those areas, and figures have been aligned to other places. So you see the benefit of NDC insistence on doing that, making sure that the right things are done. And I think Ghanaians should be thankful to NDC for our eagle eyes, which has brought us this far. And hopefully we make sure that they bring us the final data, which is the regional breakdown.
All right, Deputy Director of IT and Elections for the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, speaking there. First, as we were saying, a welcome decision for the NDC. For the NDC, and of course for the MPP, because they still remain. I mean, for all the parties. For all the parties, I mean, right? They have invested monies in running a campaign. Yeah. They have gone around the country indicating to the people of Ghana that this is their position on the ballot, paper. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, one of the candidates passes away. Going to go through all that change, money invested, it's quite difficult. So, I mean, all the parties would welcome this decision. The only challenge for us is that, what if? Yeah, we are just asking the question of what if, but I'm sure the parties are okay with it. I'm sure the EC itself is okay with it. It's always talked about fairness. We have some few weeks to the election. And you see, as it says, ballot papers had already been printed. It was put on hold. If you had to take away all those ballot papers, even the controversy of having to dispose of those ballot papers would arise. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good decision the EC has taken. We just hope that people would take it as it is and go on the day of elections, go and vote for who they want to vote for, and avoid voting for Madam Eke-Adonko. Very well, and hopefully no one decides to test the law on this matter.
Hopefully,
so
yes,
hopefully no one decides to test the law
before we go,
on this matter.
The EC has also released the total number of valid voters. So it released the statistics. So as of December 7, 2024, we are going to have 18,774,159 voters on the roll. Okay. So these are the number of people who are seen as valid voters to partake in this year's election.
And hopefully a good number of them turn up to cast their ballots, so that we reduce the voter apathy. And of course, let's intensify the education so that the spoiled ballots,
yes,
that one too.
Madam Eke-Adonko is just there.
It's just there.
She's passed away. Don't go and vote for Madam Eke-Adonko.
All right, thank you so much, Fred Jabano. Earlier you heard from Fred Duo, live from the Electoral Commission's headquarters. Much earlier, we heard from Jude Mensah Duncan from the premises of the Supreme Court of Ghana, which has given a 5-2 ruling in favor of Alexander Afenyo-Markin's application. My name is Nana Tufo Boate. Many thanks for your time. Trust that we'll be bringing you updates in our subsequent bulletins. This is your Election Bureau. Stay with us for comprehensive coverage of the 2024 general elections and election-related activities. The hashtags are Ghana Polls 2024, hashtag CTVerify, hashtag Election Bureau. Thank you for your time. Keep watching Channel One TV.